What is going on, everybody? We are back again, and it is time for the Thursday night extravaganza. Here back with Todd, as always. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Thanksgiving out there, and back-to-back nights on live streams. That is crazy on the channel. But we had a pre-Thanksgiving, I don't know what you want to call last night, craziness or whatever fun. We had a great panel chat. Like I said, the most drinking night of the year. I felt like we should be drinking, so we did a live stream. So thanks for everybody that tuned in for that crazy cast of characters that we had. But Todd, back in the house. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Although I know you're doing yours on Saturday, but
yeah, thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody else out there. Cheers, everybody.
I told Todd, yes, we were talking about how we were doing. I was like, I'm definitely fatter now. So fatter and I'm tired after the turkey for sure. So, but the show must go on. So, yeah. So, hopefully, you guys had some good food out there that you were eating. Ended up having some turkey and some ham, some stuffing, green beans, corn, mashed potatoes.
Sounds good.
Pumpkin pie at the end, which the pumpkin pie was like, that was eaten way after. Like, I just
put you over the edge.
Yeah. I just had that a little bit ago, and it's like, I didn't even need it yet. I still should have waited. But, you know,
it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Before we ate everything, I got like a shrimp tray. So we did like shrimp appetizers ahead of time. So, yeah, the belly is full right now. And after I got all done, I washed it down with a left-hand Flamingo beer as well, one of their nitros. And I'm going to have a couple beers here with you guys as well. And sure Todd will too. So we're going to kick it on here tonight. And shout out to everybody in the chat. We have Vanessa who is there as well.
What's up, Vanessa?
Good to see you. And she got here a little early, so she entertained herself with a little free cell. I never understood how to play that game as much as I've seen on the computer over the years. I just went right to solitaire. Never did free cell. Couldn't figure it out. Hey, Coach is in the house. Cheers, Coach, to you. And of course,
what's up, Coach?
Hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving, or having a good Thanksgiving, I should say. And last night's show was insane for sure. It was a little crazy, but good times, good fun. Hopefully, everybody had a good, entertaining time. Cheers, Rod and Todd. Full belly, stoned and happy. Nothing wrong.
Nice.
Nice way to go into the
Sounds like a good night.
And CB, the Mountaineers, with the win today, so 2-0, and then we got the championship game tomorrow against Western Kentucky in their tournament, which was kind of crazy because this is the one that was supposed to be in the Bahamas, but obviously COVID put a shift on that, and then a few of the teams had to drop out. And in fact, I was looking at it earlier, the only two teams that were supposed to be in this tournament were one, West Virginia, and I think the other one might have been VCU, but they got all these other teams together last second. And you're seeing these schedules in basketball get jumbled this way because we just found out yesterday we got Gonzaga next Wednesday. So we're playing number one team. That was not on the schedule previously. So it's whoever can play and whoever can do what. So this year the NCAA season is like a pickup game. Like, you got a squad. It's like
all right, let's do it.
AU or whatever, AAU, whatever. You got a team. Let's get together and play. So. Yeah,
Indiana started last night. It looked like a open gym night or something because nobody in the stands. Just like, it was crazy. It's just weird. I
wonder if there's cardboard cutouts at some point to put people in there, kind of.
They did. They had some in the end zone, like where where the camera can see when you're shooting free throws, so you could see the end zone. So they had some in those. They had some of those there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, and then. Todd, like myself, we definitely follow college basketball, and the rules this year, they were going through them again today. Like, you have to play at least 27 games to be tournament eligible, and like, you're not supposed to play more than like 4 out of your league games or whatever. So it's got some weird type things with it this year. So we'll see what happens.
Is that what it's going? I haven't heard that.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things they have in there for stipulations to be for the tournament, which could be interesting. Like, what if some of the bigger teams don't get in because they don't? If they do have like some type
play enough games,
and then some of these other like Division 1, I don't want to say Division 1 2A. I guess they're all Division 1 now, the way they move things over. But teams that would usually only get one from the conference, maybe they'll get 2 or 3 because of this kind of weird year or something. So
yeah, we play in maybe the end of next week. It's supposed to be in Hawaii. shit, what they call that? The
Maui Classic.
Maui Classic, yeah, and it's going to be in North Carolina this year.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's still all the same teams, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be the thing, because if things change, there were some teams today. The team from the guy, I think it's Tennessee, is Rick Barnes, that used to be in Texas, that coaches Tennessee now. They were supposed to be in a tournament that we were in, and they got canceled out because they have COVID players. So, you get a COVID thing and you're down for 2 weeks. In college basketball, that's 4 or 5 games probably. So, possibly depending on when it happens.
Yeah, we played Tennessee Tech last night, and their head coach had COVID. John Pelfrey, who used to play at UK back in the day, he's the head coach there, and he had COVID, so he didn't even make the trip. Yeah, it was kind of up in the air whether they were going to play or not, but I guess they do all the testing and all that like a day prior or 24 hours prior, which I still don't understand that. But so I guess it all came out good. We'll see, though. Yeah,
we'll all see what happens when they get that all put together. Let's see here. Emerson's in the house. What is going on, my friend? Great to see you last night. Says, Sup, guess who's wrong? Hey, Space Dust is good for any occasion. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. And still rocking that Space Dust. And I ain't mad at you. It's a nice little beer to actually kick back and enjoy. So a little Michigan brewing and good stuff. CB says, cheers, Vanessa. Said, cardboard fan is $200 for a cardboard fan down in West Virginia. So, yeah, they're not cheap on like the cardboard fans. So, I would hope if they did it since it's college for the students, it would be cheap, like, I don't know, 10, 15 or something like that and everything to get more of the students involved. I don't think you should be making it crazy for the students. Obviously, it's a student sport. But it's interesting. It's not like, MLB baseball where they were charging like crazy amounts. What's up?
I think the only fans in the stand last night in the IU game was just the players' parents or family. There wasn't very many.
Pretty spaced out, I'm sure. Hey, Smokey, what is going on, my friend? Good to see you, my friend, as I call him, Little Seth. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Vanessa says, howdy, y'all. And Smokey says, hey, Vanessa, happy Turkey Day. Indeed. And Coach said, I'm the interim head coach while he's out. So you get the backup head coach right now. Happy Pig Out Day. Oops, Thanksgiving. Yeah, Vanessa. I'm sure you had something good there as well. Last night I was drinking that Larceny bourbon. And I got to tell you, it actually was pretty smooth. So for those of you recommended checking that out here on the channel, I'm not mad at you. If you didn't see it last night, I actually got, a deal. I know you weren't here, Todd, last night. I don't know if you got to see that part of the show or not.
Well, that's when I made that comment and you read it. That's what I was referring to, was not the beer, the Oak Spire, whatever you had. It was whatever you poured before that. I couldn't tell what it was.
I don't know
if you remember. When you had the whiskey, I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, it's the Larceny bourbon.
Yeah.
And so I got the Larceny bourbon, the Larceny glass, and then the can't think of the name of it now, where you hide the alcohol into the flask. I got the Larceny flask.
I feel a Rajay deal coming on here.
Over at Kroger liquor store, $22.99 for all of it. So I'm going to get the Larceny anyway to try because I had been told about it. And it was actually used for the Bourbon County wheat wine I did last year. And the people told me to check it out. And so I expected to go in and pay like, $25 or whatever for a bottle. And I got all that for all three. I was like, that's a pretty good deal. So, yeah, it's just luck. Just walk into these things sometimes.
So what'd you think of it?
It was pretty good. It was pretty smooth. It didn't have, with some of the whiskeys, you take that first sip, it's got a little bit of a harshness. And then that second one, it kind of calms down a little bit or whatever. But this one was pretty smooth off the bat. I just drank it straight. And yeah, it was going down real easy. So,
yeah, I think when I first tuned in, you were just either took a drink from the bottle, or not from the bottle, or poured your little shot or whatever it was, and you put it away. Or I just saw it tuned in right as you were turning and putting it down. And then I saw you open up the Oak Spire. So when I commented, I was actually talking about what you had before them. I think you said you showed the Oak Spire can or whatever. I think it was the Oak Spire you was drinking.
Yeah, I had the Oak Spire last night, and then one of the other beers I had last night. But yeah, well, I picked that up and put it down a few times last night with the
Yeah.
So definitely a nice one to give a try. It's a good value. It was 92 small batch, 92 proof. Like I said, I don't know what the bottle by itself is. I think the bottle by itself is like 22 or 23 anyway. So the fact that I got that deal, and it's actually a cool thing if you're going out, you're looking at some of these whiskeys right now, because where I was at, they had Makers, they had some of the Jim Beams, they had some of the other different brands there where they give you like the gift sets now. And you can find some of these gift sets as a pretty good deal. Instead of just getting the bottle, you get this and the bottle. So it's that holiday, it's that time of year. So make sure you guys check that out as well. But yeah, I was pleased with it. CB said last night was a fun show, like an all-day party with Lep. I was torn up, but still made a killer Dutch apple pie. Yeah, we had a blast last night, and Lep, he hung in as much as he could, but he had been worn down from cooking during the day. But he hung in. Blake had to cook today, so hopefully Blake made some good meal there with his family. But we were all having a good time and just kind of kicking it and relaxing. And speaking of drinking, I need to crack my beer open. So I'm going to actually start off here tonight, and this will be a look at one of the Belgian ales. So this will be the Duvel Belgian Golden Ale that I'm going to actually crack.
That's a good one.
Here. Yeah, so this was one I picked up also. This might have been at Jungle Gyms, but it was the 4 bottles and the glass. I'm not going to use the glass here. The glass is on the shelf behind me now, but it was, I want to say for the 4 bottle. No, this was actually at Depths where I got this. And I remember it was like $16.99 or $17.99. So you got 4 of these, and you got like the big glass as well, which is pretty cool. So that was a pretty nice deal.
We usually do you guys have the Meyer grocery stores there?
We do.
Usually around this time, they usually will carry whiskey or bourbon and some beer gift sets like you're talking about. Like usually I have them for a pretty good price on them. I don't know if you ever go in there and look or not, but the ones around here do anyway.
I don't know if our Meyer can carry whiskey though with the Kentucky law.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because you all do yours on the outside of the store.
Yeah, it's gotta be outside. Now Costco, they separated in their store. It's still in the same building, but they have a separation between them, which is interesting. You go to Costco to buy alcohol, you don't need a membership. Like you
That's weird.
So, because the alcohol, they can't require membership, I guess, at least in Kentucky. So I can go into a Costco and check out their alcohol without having to be a member, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then if I want to get whiskey or something like that, I can go. Actually, in there, they can go into the store. They can have some stuff too, as far as
really?
That's the beers and stuff they can have in the store, not the whiskey. The whiskey's up front and liquor part.
Yeah.
But they have some stuff there. There's something. I went in there one time and they had like Rogue and some other stuff on their shelves in Costco. But to go in there, the person said, just tell the person up front, like that checker for the IDs, that you're buying alcohol, and I'll let you come in without having a membership pass.
I always forget Indiana is one of those weird states, like we are about everything else too. Being weird is all our alcohol and beer is all in the same place. Like there's no, like at the grocery stores, when I go into Louisville and Kentucky, the beer's in the grocery section at the grocery stores, in the market or whatever, but they have their own little separate store outside selling bourbon and whiskeys and vodkas and all that. So, which a lot of states do. That's not uncommon. Probably more do than don't. But Indiana is one of those weird states that you can sell them both at the same place. You don't have to have 2 separate places for it. But on the other side, I think liquor stores cannot sell cold sodas, pops, or whatever. Go figure. Yeah. Go figure. Yeah. I don't know what the deal is with that, but if they can, I've never seen it, and I think I've talked about it with it before, or to like one of the store owners, and I just don't think they're allowed to sell it cold.
Yeah.
Whatever. Stupid Indiana.
Like many things, government regulations don't make much sense.
Right. Well, that's true. That's true.
Because then, like, you guys could do all of that, but then you guys can have Sunday sales until last year.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was just going to say too. Is like, and then it's also coming from a state which couldn't buy alcohol on Sunday, so whatever.
Let me see. Vanessa said, "Good show last night." Well, thanks, Vanessa. It was great having you here as well. And we had a blast last night. Here, liquor store at Costco is separately underneath to have a liquor license. How they were able to have it there. So it might be like this in all the different states. And then because it's alcohol, maybe membership isn't required, I guess, or they can't do the memberships there. But I don't go to Costco as much. I go there a couple times to see what they may have. I've been trying to look for like an Advent beer calendar for this year to maybe do. And I know Costco usually has one there. I was going to look at the Aldi one because Aldi's had one, but we haven't gotten our local Aldi store yet. So I thought that'd be kind of interesting. I've never done the Advent calendar through the month. So.
I wonder how that one would be from Aldi.
It'd be interesting. I mean, they got all these different types of ones they saw previously. I read about it, and I saw they had some interesting stuff in there.
Because like their selection's not usually huge anyway, so it's like didn't even seem like they'd have enough beer to even fill an Advent calendar. But
yeah. Well, so yeah, it's a pre-packaged with whatever breweries are working. Yeah, our Aldi here is not a big display of beer at all by any means, which is kind of weird though, because usually they're knockoff beers, but they do sell Rheingeist in there, and they sell BrewDog in the Aldi's. Like they're the only two name brands that you see on their shelves.
Yeah, Shannon went there a couple weeks ago, which. We're hit and miss. But sometimes we'll go there, sometimes we don't. And she brought home a couple of Sun King. They had the cream ale and the Wee Heavy 6-pack. So she just picked them up. She's like, "Is this a good price?" I'm like, "I think she had already had them home." She sent me a picture of it while I was at work. I was like, "Not really, but it's fine. Whatever." being nice and picking me up some beer. So. Hey. Like it might, as like if worst case scenario, it's the same price, but it might have been $1 or $2 more on that one. But I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, I think our name stuff like Ryan got, it's like pretty much the same. It's not really a discount too much on it.
No.
CB said, "Are we both ready for next week's snow forecast? Has it's all getting 6 to 8 inches Monday?" Yeah, they talked about some of the snow in the forecast there, and it's kind of funny. So I didn't get a chance to talk to you. I don't think I mentioned it to you. But I had to get a furnace yesterday.
Oh, no. That sucks.
Yeah. So I have been messing with it the last couple of weeks, and finally it just wasn't kicking over enough. And had a guy come out. I was hoping that it might have been like the reset switch where he'd been burned out or something like that and everything. And they did it and went through and kind of saw that basically I needed to get a new furnace done. And it was like, well, how quick can you do it or whatever, and all that kind of stuff, because we're supposed to get this winter blast coming through with the snow and the cold. And they were able to actually go ahead and get it put in yesterday. So that was I wasn't looking for, but it was like 3,200 was actually is a good number for a lot of people, like for a furnace I've been seeing out there. So they were able to get it all done that day and get it put in. The guys hooked it all up. They're actually, well, for them, they were happy because if they didn't do the furnace for me, they had to go do a chimney at somebody's house and it was raining and they were not happy about it. So even their boss was laughing about it when I called to find out when they could do it and all kind of stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, I was supposed to send the guys to do a chimney, but I'm sure they'll be happy to stay at your house and get this done this way." So I kind of made a joke laughing with them about that. But so yeah, but I had to get it put in because, it's like if I didn't in the cold and all kind of stuff, that would have sucked. But yeah, so as a homeowner, these things pop up where you got to do stuff. I was basically on borrowed time, though, I think, because the furnace came in the house back in '94 when it was made. So 26 years out, you're kind of like,
yeah.
Time. It was only a matter of time. And
right.
He showed the stuff after when they pulled it out where the damage was on the heat exchange. And honestly, it was actually lucky that nothing really happened. They had like cracks all through the heat exchanger and stuff.
Damn.
And I had one of the 1 hour people come out a few years ago and say there's like a pinhole or something they saw and they were kind of worried about it. But another guy came out and saw it and said that, that can go for years or what, so it might not be a thing. Just keep an eye on it or whatever. But it was just that time. But,
So were they worried that it would like possibly start a fire or cause a fire or something? Or?
Fire. Well, the reason it was cutting off is because the rollback of the flames would come out, and so that's your safety measures. That rollback switch,
right? Yeah,
cut it off so that didn't get out. But you could have monoxide leaking out, which I had a monoxide detector down there anyway. That wasn't going off. They were actually kind of surprised, like that may have not gone off, as it probably wasn't enough in the air, I guess. But it would have got to that point when I saw it, it was pretty damaged. So that was an expense I wasn't looking for, but there it is, and got that taken care of. At least I was able to get it done that same day, and they got it all put in and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and something you don't have to worry about now, even if probably in the back of your mind the whole time,
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, because I mean, if we get to a point that we decide to sell this for another one, that would have been expensive to do at that point anyway.
Yeah.
So it's one less project to worry about. Vanessa says how alcohol licenses are filled out here. Yeah, it might be. Well, each state runs their alcohol and stuff, but like I said, with Costco, it might be how they do it here as well. Emerson, I'm in North Carolina. I just get moonshine on the DL. Well, that can work.
There you go. Yeah, speaking of moonshine, I just started watching Moonshiners just come on again a week or so ago.
Cool.
The new season.
Watching it before, or
Yeah, I've watched it ever since it's been on. I know it's kind of one of those. It's like, most of it's probably fake at this point, but I still like to watch it. It's still entertaining just to watch them make it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told you one of my guilty pleasures is actually Swamp People. So today, outside of watching basketball, I've been watching the Swamps Given Swamp People all day marathon. So right now they're chasing snakes and stuff. I even got in the background right now. So I would get a kick out of that show and stuff. So
could be worse.
But speaking of North Carolina, I told the wife, I said, I think next one we do another cabin type trip or whatever, I think it's to go to Asheville.
So I want to go there. Well, I've been there, but I want to go there and stay.
Yeah. I want to go there and check out the breweries and some of the stuff around that and do a big beer haul. That'll be a big beer haul. Me going to Asheville and all this good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think the car might be dragging on the ground on the way back.
Yeah, we made a quick run there a few years ago. We stayed in Bryson City, North Carolina, with my cousin and his wife, and my brother and his wife, and just for the weekend. And it's about an hour, maybe not quite an hour before you get to Asheville. So we got to Bryson City early, so we just went on through and went there for lunch and went to Wicked Weed and got some lunch. Yeah. So we had the kids with us, so it wasn't like we go brewery tour or anything, but I was like, as all the breweries kind of just looked like a Las Vegas strip of just breweries and stuff. Is nice. Like I got to come back here, just go walking and drinking.
I heard Wicked Weed was a pretty cool brewery too.
It is. It was cool, and that was about. And I think I've talked about it a few times on the show before. And that was about the time when Anheuser was taking them over.
Yeah.
Because I had a conversation with our waiter or one of the waiters there and asked him about it. And at that point, it was still new, but he's like, "Oh, they're just leaving us alone, letting us do our own thing." He said, and "That's what their plan. That's what their plan was." I would have thought we'd have seen distribution here by now, but no, haven't seen any.
Yeah, I haven't seen any here. There's a little bit in Tennessee when we've been down there, not up here really. Emerson, you could do that. You can now do cocaine in Oregon road trip. You can do a lot of stuff in Oregon now, apparently. So they just kind of put it like dates out there, and it's going to be a kind of like Amsterdam City, which is still weird because it's still illegal on the federal book. So they'll have to work that out there, I guess. Used to be a lot of blue laws here, but before we were of age to drink, we made runs in Vermont and New Hampshire to get alcohol on weekends. Yeah, depending on what state. And we still have blue counties or blue laws in some of our parts of Kentucky. And then as you go more south, you still have some of that stuff in play too. So, like I said, when we went to Lake Cumberland, we were in the dry county. So you could buy no alcohol in that county, which is just weird. But once you stepped a foot outside the county, there was a liquor store, like usually, no matter what direction I think you went in.
I was going to say that, and it might be around there. I remember seeing place as soon as you cross the county line, it's like first stop for alcohol. If you turn around and go back out, it's like last stop for alcohol before you get back into the dry counties.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty good.
I think we went one time she had to go down for a conference. I think it was at a Murray State University. And so, which is always great when she has to go to conferences because I'm off work and I'm usually just picking up beer or doing some stuff. But I think where Murray State was dry, and I had to drive like 20 minutes over the border to get into Tennessee. And the place I went to get alcohol, it said, first chance for alcohol. And then on the other side of the sign, it said last chance for alcohol when you came out the other way.
That's cute. That's funny. So what do you drink? What did you? If I missed it, what are you drinking? Then what'd you open?
I'm drinking the Belgian.
Oh, that's right. I remember showing it to you. I never did think I showed Yeah, because you talked about the 4-pack or whatever.
Lagunitas sucks. That's a good beer.
Yeah, so I just picked that up about a week ago. Because I don't know that they came out with it the last couple of years. Did they?
I had it last year or two. I know, probably.
Did you? Okay, because I know it's just.
Does it say limited release on it?
Yeah.
So maybe it was a couple years ago. Then maybe it didn't come out last year. Then.
Okay. Yeah, it's backwards, but yeah, limited release.
Yeah, limited release there. So.
But I don't know. I don't remember seeing it for the last couple of years, and I saw it last week sometime, and I was like, okay, so I just picked up one bottle of it. I mean, I've had it many times before, but I should have probably went ahead and just got a 4-pack of it because they're cheap anyway. So,
yeah, I mean, value-wise, again, we talked about many a time. Lagunitas gives you probably one of the best values out there.
But this is a really good IPA. Like, I almost forgot how good it was. It almost kind of makes you wish I had it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the Snow Vanessa. Snow's all right. It don't matter anyway because you're not going anywhere for the most part. But, it's going to be a pain when you do have to run out. Like, the only people that still can't drive it or whatever. But
so I haven't checked the forecast. Is this supposed to be around here? Like in my area?
Yeah, you guys are getting it before I get it, I think.
Okay.
Like on Monday, like early Monday morning. I'm actually off on Monday, but Monday is supposed to come in. It's coming in from you should get it. I think, well, when I was thinking where you're located, where I'm at, we might get it a little bit before you, but we're in the same rotation anyway. So,
well, a lot of times the reason why I was asking is a lot of times when it starts coming up from like the Michigan area and it comes down, it'll just bypass us and go straight through you on out east. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't come quite far enough south. That's the only reason why I was asking, because sometimes we're notorious in this area, especially for missing a lot of that stuff when it comes through. I don't know what the deal is. It's like we're in a bubble for snow, which is okay by me, but
yeah, this one looks like it's coming like a line of them coming east, like from Missouri, so it's coming like just straight across rather than coming down. So
okay, yeah. So we might get that then.
Like it doesn't. Like lately, they were like been missing stuff. Like, oh, it's supposed to rain, it doesn't rain, and it's like, oh, it should be clear, and then it rains. It's like, I don't know. They're batting like 200 range right now. Some of these forecasts they're making. So definitely see what happens.
Is there a better job than that though, where you could just be completely wrong and it's like, okay, so I was wrong. What difference does it make? I still have my job. I'm not getting fired. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, being a forecast. The only thing better might be like a backup quarterback in the NFL. Like they say, the backups have the best job. You never have to really go in for the most part. Obviously, the majority of the time, 80% of the time, you're just riding the bench and you're there helping the main quarterback understand the plays. So,
right.
Although if you're a punter, possibly dependent. Although a punter does have to tackle it sometimes, possibly. But yeah. But being a weather forecaster, you don't have to get it right. Well, you should get it right most of the time. But
yeah.
I forgot to say Paul from the house out. I'll give you 6 to 8. Oh, so snow that. What's going on, Paul? Paul joined last night. Paul? He was on the back end of the chat last night for a while too, so it was good having him on last night. 6 to 8 inches of snow, white boy rapper on Viagra downhill. Rod had 2 new units put in our house, one up and one down. $18K. Ouch. For 10-year warranty. Oh wow.
Ooh,
man, that's a big bill there. Well, I was going to say, but 10 years. So we got on our warranty, we have 10 years on the furnace and then 20 on the heat exchanger. Is part of the one that we got, but that's a good chunk of change there. And that's what I was wondering, because we were talking about before the guys came out, how much it may cost. Because I've seen some of the furnaces that people would get like around $5,000 to $10,000, and I'm like, I don't really want to have to do something like that and everything. And then when they said like $3,200, I'm like, where do I sign? So
yeah. CB, do you put something like that on like a 5-year deal or something, like buying a car? Because that's a lot of money. And you don't have to answer if you don't want to, because that's personal. But
yeah, well, I know Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, it just seems like you'd have at least a 5 to 7 year plan or something on,
Yeah.
to make payments or something on that.
Well, I know some companies like they'll do like financing. If you want to finance, obviously some will do like just a credit card or something like that. But it's like some people take like home equity loans and stuff to take out equity in their house to pay for.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But no, that's a big bill for the two there. I think so.
Knock on wood, I've not had to go through that, so that's why I was asking, because we've lived in our other house for 11 years and then moved into this house, and it's only 6 years old. So
Yeah. Of course, it always comes down to what market you're in, right? So what it may cost you in certain places as well.
well, sure, yeah, like everything else.
So we had a new water heater put in a couple years ago. Fun to watch the new type of tools used. He picked it up on his back like a backpack and walked the old one out and a new one in. Yeah, we had the water heater done a couple years ago as well, which that was a little different of an experience because on that one, I pretty much just went to Lowe's to find out the one that I wanted to get that I knew would fit or whatever, and they were able to do that, and they set up for an installation for you. But that's when I found out you can get screwed in Lowe's or those places on the installation part because they contract how much they have to pay for the installation with the installer. So I had the guy come out, and he's one of our local guys, and the installation of it was like, I don't know, it was like $1,600 like that and everything. The heater itself was only like I think $700 or $800 or whatever. So I thought I was gonna have a good deal. And then he was telling me like, yeah, I said you're almost better to buy it, get the installation, and then contact your local guy. They can do it for a lot cheaper. He said if you get it done like under Lowe's, they'll screw you on the installation because they have a certain way they're doing to make money off of it too. So
right, yeah,
not do that. So yeah, but ever since I always go local guys now. I try to call local people. I check out people that may have used them in the area and kind of their ratings and all that kind of stuff. But rather than I don't know, the trust factor of some of these big major companies, it's just not there all the time. So
yeah, my cousin Pat, he was doing some installation stuff for I think it was Home Depot back towards the end of last year. Yeah, before he gave that up, but because they were sending him out all over the place, and it wouldn't guarantee him any work or anything. They were taking care of all the guys that had more time or whatnot, underneath their belt. So, and he was kind of the new guy, so he was like, "Screw this." And that's what he said. He was like, "Yeah, you're just you're paying overpricing, for installation from those places."
Yeah, one of my buddies I work with, he had a friend that was doing it for a bit for one of the major companies, and he did it for about a month before he quit. But he said he was going out, and he was basically getting written up for not having enough billing on his proposals. And they were like, why did you only charge so-and-so for this thing? And the only thing wrong with it, it needed to be cleaned, really. But they were basically told to always go out there and find something wrong and say something was wrong with it to get more money out of people. And he was talking about his buddy quit because it was like bothering him that they were basically screwing people over.
Yeah, and he had his own like home improvement company business type, and he got to a point where it was kind of when I think well, I guess that was pre-COVID, so that was before then. But anyway, he was getting, tired of trying to pick up work on his own and all that. So that's when he went to Lowe's or whatnot, or Home Depot. And he got to the point where he's just like, almost felt like wanting to tell these people to not use their installation, and he would do it for them for like half the price or whatever,
Yeah.
he didn't do that, but he was wanting to because he didn't want to get in trouble for it or whatever.
But doing it, yeah. It's a nice lacing beer. I always like Duvel. Duvel's always a nice little beer.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Clean and crisp. Effervescent. Vanessa, hello to Paul. She says she's thinking of buying an old Moonshiner guy's copper still he sells. But that'd be pretty cool. I could see you doing something good with that, Vanessa, for sure. Bourbon's in the house. What is going on? Cheers, Bourbon, and happy Thanksgiving.
Bourbon.
Everybody, if I didn't say that. So hopefully you guys are all just a little fatter and a little happier and a little merrier. Enjoying something there from the holiday. Plan a trip to New Holland Brewery when it is okay. I dug all through their website. Vanessa is all over about going to New Holland, so that's going to be a fun road trip for her.
Nice.
I would definitely visit that one if I was up in the Michigan area. What is going on, Carnal? Cheers, my friend. Good to see you, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Just here kicking it tonight, as always, and enjoying a few brews. Hopefully, you got something there cracked as well. Carnal's always commenting on trying to get some of the beers I'm posting on videos that he can't get in his area, which was just pretty hilarious. He's like, I can't get that beer here. I think there are thousands of places named County Line Liquor. There probably are. There's probably a good amount of spots named that for sure that are out there. We got Craig in the house. Cheers, Craig over at Kemp Beer Reviews.
What's up, Craig?
Happy. Well, you guys don't have Thanksgiving though, right? So it's kind of like Happy Thursday. Actually, Craig's on Friday now, so his time has already shifted for the next day. But
Happy Beer Day.
Yeah. Maybe they do have a Thanksgiving. Maybe they're happy to kick the Puritans out of the country. I don't know. It could be a Thanksgiving over there. Nice, happy Thanksgiving then to everybody else as well. Cheers to bourbon. No, it was out of my retirement money. It was a big hit, but it's over and done. Yeah, so that does suck. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
There, yeah. If you got that there, then you definitely got to dig into it. I just know that some of them do it, but I know some of those financing plans can screw people as well. By the time it's all set.
For sure. Yeah.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you can do it up front, that's always a way to go for sure.
That's a good question, Craig. Where is Joe? We haven't talked to Joe in a bit and everything. So even on the message and stuff. So I think he's doing all right. He's still doing the videos and stuff. Just haven't.
He is. I talked to him. He messaged. I messaged with him yesterday because I got some beer mail from him because he said he owed me. He said he owed me from when I sent him some 450 North stuff early in the year, maybe before COVID even. I don't even remember when it was. Yeah. But Joe being the guy, the good guy that he is, he's like, I owe it to you. I was like, you don't have to worry about it. He's like, no. He said, that's not the way it works. He's like, I appreciate you sending that to me. He's like, the beer gods would frown upon me if I didn't, pay you back. So I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. So he messages sent me out some stuff. So I got it yesterday. But he's doing good though. He's doing good.
Yeah. Well, he's been laying low. I mean, with the COVID stuff, but also with work, he's been kind of crazy there as well, occupied. So
yeah.
I'm sure.
He said he definitely misses everybody and misses the show for sure. So let everybody know he's doing good and misses the hangouts and all. So
yeah, I know he was hoping to get back at some point this year. They thought they were bringing in somebody else, but I guess that hadn't happened yet, or he hasn't been able to do so. But yeah, he's got the weird working hours, it seems. Let's see. CB's adding a sunroom, outdoor kitchen, and 2 8x20 greenhouse, but the price are crazy. 5 contracts so far. I bet. We were talking about trying to do some stuff. My wife wanted the enclosed porches or whatever, but we wouldn't put it on this house. That would be a different house we either get that has one or one that was like a ranch style to build one or whatever. Which I think at some point we may go to a ranch style houses because she's about tired of the steps and all that kind of stuff too. And as we get older, it's kind of like you want to get to that house you want to actually retire in or so. But then again, it's like, do you want to get a house? Is it going to be here in Kentucky to retire? Or is it going to be somewhere else? She's trying to get me to look at doing one of those RVs. I don't know if you guys have thought about that at all or not, but so that when we're older and we do retire, that we can go travel the country and just go in those RV type things. So I don't know if I'm ready to look at those either.
That would be fun. That would be a cool thing. We've actually have mentioned that before, but nothing real serious or anything. One, got to have the money when you're retired, which will probably be when I'm 95. So I'll have to have somebody drive me around in an RV anyway. So
true. Yeah.
So I'd be like, let's go to, you won't even remember where it is. Like, who are you? Be stuck in an RV with somebody you don't even know their name anymore. It's like, I don't know. Not sure that'd be very fun. I don't know. It could be fun, I guess. It'd be interesting.
Well, I think I told you we were down in Lake Cumberland. One of the days we were sitting there flipping through TV and we actually got caught up watching one of the RV shows. And it's just like 2 old people watching it. Like, why are we watching an RV? But then it's like, well, let's see what the next RV looks like.
Now you're hooked. It's like, let's see what's going on here now. What's the next one?
this one has this kind of bed, and this table folds out. You got to take off the table. And we're like, oh no, we wouldn't want to take off the table. Like, why are we talking to the show? It's like we got to change the channel. Like, we're here in slippers watching Judge Judy or something. So yeah,
yeah, they definitely have some that you can totally live in for sure if you really wanted to.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to take and go across the country. You would just you go to different campgrounds and all that kind of stuff too. But who really wants to be Cousin Eddie cleaning the shitter, right? That's somebody's got to empty the tank at some point. That never seems to be addressed on the TV show. They weren't talking about who had to do that part or how that was easily done or not. So that would be the worst part.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who has a business that does that. I'm not sure why, but somebody. I mean, I guess there's a need for it at some point.
Capitalism at its finest if somebody does that.
That's right.
Cheers, Gilbert. What is happening, my friend? Good to see you.
What's up, Gilbert?
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. Thank you, brother. And yeah, you guys had yours back in October there.
Oh, and Gilbert, we got the best of you last Sunday, too, in overtime.
Oh, the Packers lost to
Indianapolis.
Oh, nice. So Phillip Rivers is the quarterback there now at the Colts.
Yeah, and I hate him. I hated that. I hated that whole pickup. He's got the worst throwing motion I've ever seen in football.
I don't know. Phillip Rivers is kind of like the smirks he has on his face. It just feels like he's one of those guys you want to punch. He just feels like
I don't like him.
Yeah, but
I don't like him.
Can he get the Colts over the hump? Do you think?
I don't know. I'm hoping so because I think it's just a 1-year deal. I mean, it's just a 1-year deal, so I don't think that he'll be back next year. But I guess he's all right enough. He makes some of the dumbest passes. Like, your arm's not that strong. Why are you making that throw? Yeah. Like, you're just gonna get and it gets intercepted. It's like, it's so frustrating. I mean, I guess the guy's thrown for a bazillion yards, but he is 40 whatever years old, so he probably should.
Yeah, he's older too. So yeah, he can't have stuff in the tank. I don't think. I mean,
I think it's just the Colts drafted a quarterback in like the 6th round last year or this past draft. And they were kind of high on him, but I'm not really sure. He's not been in any games, even if they've had a little bit of a lead. So I don't know what the deal is with that, or if they're not. Maybe he's not progressing. But I think the deal was to get him because I think they have a shot at the Super Bowl and get the veteran quarterback and pay this year for him. We'll see.
They're first place in that division, aren't they? I thought the Colts.
Yeah, they are.
This year, so. Yeah.
I mean, they made a lot of free agent acquisitions, which that GM normally doesn't do. He likes to build from within, but he made a few acquisitions, so we'll see. I don't know. I mean, they got a good team. I think they got the league's. I think they still do. They're the top defense in the NFL. So.
Well, at least they're not like the Bengals getting their franchise quarterback killed. So.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate to see that for him.
That's cheap ass Mike Brown. Like, you get a franchise quarterback like that, buy him a line, protect the guy.
Right. Yeah, maybe in the long run that might work out for him because now they have probably a really good pick next year. They better go for a bunch of offensive linemen is what they need to draft. Forget about
the same point, you can come back from that type of thing but not be the same person. Like Carson Palmer was the same thing after he got taken down with the Steelers. They never put enough people around him either. He bounced back later in Arizona, but they gave him protection in Arizona for stuff that they weren't going to give him in Cincinnati. He basically had to quit football for a year or two before he was finally able to move on to Arizona. So,
and I wasn't sure about Burrow either before he got to Cincy because you look at his background, jumping around from college to college until he finally obviously won the championship or whatever it's LSU, and it's like you never started anywhere else. How do you go from that to number 1 draft pick? Heisman winner or whatever, but I guess it took time to develop or whatever, because Ohio State, I think he was like 3rd string when he finally did transfer.
Oh, I mean, the one thing we learned from the career of Tom Brady, you just don't know. I mean,
that's true. That's true. But then he went to the NFL and it was like, okay, he's keeping Cincinnati in those games. And it's like, if you just had any bit of anything around you, like you guys would, they'd have been pretty good. Then to see him go through that injury, and you're right. Like, you never know what you're going to get on the backside now. They're talking like 2022 that he may not be back. Like, he might miss all of next season, too.
The way that he went down there and all kind of stuff in the rehab, and usually in torn ACL, I think it's a year, but he had the ACL, I think, and the MCL or something as well. So that's going to be a little bit more stuff that he has to cover for there. And, you take a hit like that does something, you're in the back of your mind, you go back into a pocket, you got like 2 to 3 seconds to get rid of that ball possibly. Well, now that might feel like 1.5 to 2 because you want to get out quicker so you don't take a hit like that again. So
right.
I don't know. It'll be he's young enough to bounce back from it. It'll just be interesting to see what happens.
I hope he does. I hope he does.
Yeah, he's a good guy from everything I've read about him and stuff, and he just did some other stuff there helping out his community. I mean, his Heisman speech was one of the better Heisman speeches I think I've seen from any player. Having a conscience about things taking place in society away from just being football. So
right, yeah.
Craig said, "I don't miss Joe. I really miss him." I miss Joe reading the comments, Craig. Bourbon said, about to grab a beer. I did arm and chest workout earlier. Had to wait until I could do a 12-ounce curl without being shaky. LOL. There you go.
Gotta hydrate. Gotta rehydrate.
I'm gonna grab some Coors. I know he is. So Coors Light. Yeah, the other half Sniper. And I'm thinking about a new truck and trailer, packed trailer with all essential camping and travel to all the campgrounds. That would be awesome. That's like something like my wife has said, being able to do stuff like that and everything. So now if you can do it and see I want to go out to Montana at some point. The Dakota, kind of out just to see those parts of the land I haven't been to before, and having in the camper, being able to drive out there would be the cool thing to do. So
yeah, so my best friend just come back from South Dakota. Him and his wife were out there. She went out there for nursing and come back, and he was sending me pictures all the time, and it looks amazing. He's like, it's so much different. Like, it's just crazy how pretty and beautiful everything was. I was like, yeah, some of the pictures he sent, I was like, definitely got to get out there.
Yeah. Watching $1 million build RVs awesome. I can imagine putting $1 million into them. I'll never be able to afford them, but I can imagine they're pretty sweet looking. We looked at one before getting a new house, but there's nearly as much. Yeah, some of those at the house, like we're watching, some of them were upwards of 6 figures for sure. I mean, someone would have a thing where you would hit a button and then it would open up and there was a TV or whatever you close. I mean, all kinds of different things like that. And yeah, they can get crazy with them. Or the Overlander style vehicles. Gilbert said the refs love Indy. LOL. So that game maybe. In DCB, I figured a 4x4 pickup and 2-axle trailer to put utility tents and such. My sort of fancy camping. There you go. That's actually more like camping. And I don't know, an RV, you can go out there and get to a campground, but it was like, when I think of camping, I think of like pitching a tent type thing in a sleeping bag and stuff. You know what I mean? So that would be a little. It's like the wife says, go camping. Like, no, you want to go to a cabin. You don't know what camping really is.
You're right. Air conditioning, showers. Like, what do you mean?
Like, I went camping. I was a Boy Scout. And when they took us out to Valley Forge when it was like 20 degrees, I said, that's enough of this. Oh, man. I dug a post hole. Had to walk to fire pit bench swings to park until my vision returns. The past year has been progressing in the wrong direction. Oh, no. Take care. Almost blacking out. Yeah, be careful, Vanessa.
Jeez.
Bourbon said he switched to Yingling. Okay, well, there you go. Got off the Coors Light. I thought that day would never happen. Well, Yingling, you got the Yingling traditional, or is it Yingling Light that you're drinking? I know you were drinking a light beer before, but the traditional has always been an easy drinking beer.
Hey, Rod, real quick while I'm thinking about it, since you was talking about camping, have you ever been down to Red River Gorge?
No, I've never went down there. That was actually one of the places we were looking at, but we couldn't get a cabin in time, which is why we went to Lake Cumberland. But I want to go there.
Is that very close to you? That's not that close to you, though, is it?
It's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Okay, all right. I've never been either, but a guy I used to work with, him and some of his old college buddies, they'd all get together once a year, and they'd meet up at Red River Gorge. He's like, I don't know why we do that. So we're also fat and out of shape. It's not like we're going to do any hiking or anything. They just get a cabin and drink beer by a bonfire. He's like, I don't even know why we do that for. He's like, it doesn't even make other than just see each other. He's like, why Red River Gorge? We're not going to be doing any hiking. We'll all die of a heart attack.
Right.
It's like, oh, whatever. He goes, but it looks like he would take some pictures and stuff. It looks, obviously I've seen a lot of that stuff being somewhat local, but it looks like a really cool place. I'd like to go there, but I also be afraid for my life too, because I don't know how many. They always have numerous deaths there every year.
I've had friends that go there that really enjoy it and stuff. But I was going to say, probably when the Red River Gorge comes, some of the wives want to let the guys go to Vegas is what it was. River Gorge, you can go there, but you can't go to Vegas. Let me see. Hey, we got Moose Gal. Moose Gal said, popping in for a quickie. What kind of place do you think this is, Moose Gal, coming in for a quickie? Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
What's up, Moose Gal? Nothing wrong with a quickie, though.
Well, a quickie, if you can get it in. Large rocks.
That's what she said.
Buried in this spot. Air Force Base, large pieces of jade, about 50 pounds a piece. Wow. I thought put in an air mattress in a tent was cheating. I think it is. I think if you're going to actually go camping, I mean, people do air mattress, but I'm thinking sleeping bag is what I think. But I don't know. Is it cheating or is it? I mean, if you're sleeping on the ground, maybe it is okay.
I don't know. She always talks about wanting to go camping, but then she's always like, "We need to get an air mattress to put in." I'm like, "That's not really." I'm like you. Like, I'm not sure. Is that really camping? What if? Yeah, but I'll never sleep if we don't get one of those. Like, whatever. So we have done that before. So I don't know. It's like partial camping, maybe. I'm not really sure. It's not rugged camping. We'll put it that way.
Not rugged. Shout out to Emerson. Thanks, my friend. I appreciate that. Drink Mickey's, get bitches. Sorry, happy Thanksgiving. $5 bomb. Thank you, sir.
Nice.
Yeah. But definitely go to the beer fund. So thanks for dropping that in, buddy. And let me see. We were almost 70. No more camping on the ground. Well, yeah, I mean, you get to a point where you really can't do it that way. Then, yeah, there's alternatives. I don't know. I just think sometimes, like, when the wife says camping, like, you're camping? Or are you thinking, like, what's that term to use, glamping type thing, which is kind of like camping, but it's not fully camping. It's kind of like you get a little of the amenities of actual
showers and toilets and stuff.
Yeah, we looked at one place. It was actually like a teepee, which was kind of cool. It was like all one room, like obviously under a teepee type thing. But like you'd have like a community showers and bathrooms and stuff on the campground or whatever. But that was kind of a unique type look to it. But obviously with the COVID type stuff, the whole community thing becomes a question. So
how do they do showers at those things? Are there like stalls? Do they have like partitions between them where you go?
I would think they're probably stalls or something, but I mean, it could be like the YMCA or something. I don't know. You just might be, hey, what's going on? You just take eyes up here.
How's it hanging? Yeah, shoulders and above. Keep your eyes shoulders and above. Ain't nothing down there for you, see.
Nobody's singing Swing Low in here, so yeah. Bourbon said Yingling Light, 99 calories, but shy of 4%. That just means I can drink a lot more of them. Well, there you go. They have the other one too, Bourbon, the Yingling Flight. Both of them are actually decent light beer options, so I've done reviews on both. If you're looking to cut carbs, I would actually say, well, if you like IPAs, check out the one from Lagunitas. Mm-hmm. They're like less than 3 carbs or whatever, and it's actually really good. It tastes like an IPA. You're not losing anything.
Yeah, because we were drinking those back last year when we were doing the keto, and it was they were actually really good. I can't think of the name of them, but it's got the nail on the can art or whatever.
Yeah, it's like you do 6 cans of those and you're under 20 carbs or whatever. Vanessa camped a total of 4 months, and I reckon a 10 at minus 40 on a good day, no more. Yeah, she did the time in Antarctica, and that's That's cold. But albino rhino, he moved to Antarctica, so he's down there now doing a lot of this stuff. And
Oh, did he really? I didn't know that.
yeah, when you see his videos, he's down in Antarctica. I don't know if he went down there for a job he was doing or a job his wife was doing, but that's where he's at now. So it's kind of interesting.
Damn.
High moose quickie, LOL, right? Time is money. Yep. And I went camping in a cabin with military friends. The bullfrogs started croaking, and I told a guy I would give him 20 if he could catch a bullfrog. He ended up stumbling into the lake head first.
Oops.
Yeah, I'm just kind of one of those guys that are so, I grew up in like city type, well, a little small town, but kind of like more city than country. So like I go camping, like crickets and frogs and all those kind of noises. They like keep me up. It seemed like they're just, I don't know. It's just that you're not used to them maybe, but if I'm in the city type thing and there's like an ambulance or go by and everything, it doesn't bother me. But if I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I hear frogs or I hear some other bear growling or whatever it may be, it's kind of like just not used to it, I guess.
And I think you do. I think you're right, because when Shay and I first started dating, she lived with her mom, and it was right next to railroad tracks. And in the middle, go over there, and at nighttime, you'd hear it'd be really loud, super loud. Like, how do you deal with this? She's like, you don't deal with what? And I'm like, that train. So like, I don't even notice it anymore. Like, you
just become.
I guess just it just becomes like white noise. You don't even pay attention anymore. So I think you're right. I think it's just what you get used to hearing, whether it's country or city or whatever.
Yeah. CB says you'll not live. You'll take a dump at minus 65 in a little tent. Well, yeah, that's. It was all nice, CB. I just got to do the Arctic. I camped right near the Arctic Circle, or on the Arctic Circle in Western Alaska. Hung out with the Coast Guard unit up there. I spent a season in Alert NWT. No camping there. Polar bears are everywhere. Yeah, you got polar bears. Polar bears, it's funny. Like polar bears, you see stuff about polar bears. If you weren't really looking into like the historical or something like that with them, like when they do like movies or something like that, like you would think a polar bear would be like one of the more collier type bear type things. But those
things are mean as shit, though, ain't they?
Find out about. And they're like, you're better off with a brown bear than you are a polar bear, apparently.
Yeah. And the paws on those things are so freaking huge. Yeah. Like I wouldn't want them to swing stand up on their hind legs and be like 20 feet tall. I don't know, not that tall, but stupid tall. I know that.
Yeah. I mean, if I was out in that cold, I'd probably be pissed too. So I can understand why the bears might not be the happiest.
True.
The happiest family of the bears. Yes, we don't want to be bear Scooby snacks. Yeah. We have one place for each extreme temps. Medevaced all the soldiers out of location in the early 80s. The fuel and tent to run heat is no longer burnt. Wow, that's pretty cold when the fuel's not burning anymore. That's like the Thing cold, like the old movie with Kurt Russell cold type thing. That's a great classic movie too.
Oh yeah.
I've been so deep in the bush that pack wolves crossed behind our tent at 3 a.m. Oh, when you're at the stuff, Gilbert, yeah. We actually
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab the beer and let my dog in.
There you go. And we've actually seen some coyotes and stuff out around our parts now, so we kind of got coyotes infesting the area a little bit, so people have been kind of wanting to watch for those. But as Todd mentioned, he's going to go grab a beer. I actually have another beer here that I'm going to crack open. I don't know if I had the other one on the show a couple weeks ago or not, but this is going to be, if I did have it, it was a can, but this is going to be the bottle version. So this is Prairie Artisanal Ales Paradise Imperial Stout brewed with coconut and vanilla. So always like check out Prairie beer.
Especially at the price you bought those for.
Well, the last one was a can, so I'm going to do the bottle this time. The ABV on this one, 13% ABV, so nice session ale.
This one I'm drinking and getting ready to is one I picked up at Jungle Gems when we were there. From Jackie O's.
Oh, the Chomalunga. A nice call on that one. The Chomalunga Ma.
So you've had it before?
I've had that one before, yeah. I've had it on tap. I never picked it up to do like anything with it.
Brown ale with honey. So we'll see what that's got to offer.
Did you just get one of those?
I did.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure what the ABV is on it because the stupid sticker's in front of it, so I can't see it.
They do that at Jungle Gym sometimes too. It pisses me off. Like, why didn't you put the sticker right here?
I think actually that was the only Jack Ales I picked up for some odd reason because I know make a lot of good beer.
Yeah, that one is 6.5% ABV.
There's so many good beers there, you just have to cut it off at some point, so you're not going to pick up everything you want.
Oh, I take it back. I did get it in the can, so I did do a review on it at some point back in 2017 on the channel here.
Oh, the Paradise?
No, the Chamalunga. I did on the channel.
Oh, okay.
I know I had it at one of the beer fests, but then I also did pick up a 6-pack of it. It looks like.
Yeah, kind of comes out nice little brownish, copperish color. Not much lighting there, so it's hard to tell. But
oh, that's like Thanksgiving dessert right now. Vanilla, a little coconut, sweetness, a little thickness, like a little bit of a fudge type feel to it. I'm going to drink my. Well, I already have my pumpkin pie. But I'm going to drink my other dessert.
Can't go wrong with that either.
Go wrong now. Prairie,
especially at the what'd you get, $2.99 a can or a bottle or $3.99, whatever it was.
Yeah, $2.99 for a bottle or can. Yeah,
it's not even fair. Not even fair.
Not even, right? Like
I go down to my liquor store and get those now, and they're $9.99 a piece for those. For that one.
For some other people, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was smooth too. How you like that?
It's pretty good. Got definitely taste the honey in it for sure. Yeah. Almost kind of. What does that remind me of? I won't say like a hot toddy because there ain't no bourbon or anything in it, but definitely has the sweetness, caramel of the brown ale. Definitely get the honey for sure. I mean, that's even if I think I was doing this blind, I'd definitely pick out honey out of that for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't drink a lot of brown ales. I don't know why, because every time I drink one, I'm like, that's good. Why don't I get these anymore? It's just one I don't tend to lean towards for some reason. But for whatever reason, that was the reason why I got this one, because it was a brown ale. I was like, oh, there's a brown ale, so I'm going to get that one with honey. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's probably going to be pretty good. It's got some nice maltiness to it. Definitely pick up the honey flavor. It's nice. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was asking if you had any more because I had some people ask me about like pairing for Thanksgiving, what to actually look at for different styles. And brown ales are good ones. I think pair well with like turkey.
Yeah, I think we was talking about that last week, actually.
Yeah, that you can actually look to have.
It says brewed with Ohio wildflower honey. So I like the back of the can. The back of the can's kind of cool. If you can see it in the reflection there. Let me get out. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. There you go.
Bigfoot went backpacking. You're talking about
swamp people.
Yeah, there are swamp people that are hunting the pythons right now. Down in the Everglades, the pythons are tearing up the Everglades, so things are huge.
But I like that. So I'm digging that beer. It's pretty good.
That's the General of the Alaskan Air Command gave all the soldiers accommodation for persevere in such conditions. Well, yeah, if you had to back them out, I'm sure it was pretty tough for sure. Good thing when wolves let you know they are around. Yeah, that's definitely good. You don't want them sneaking up on you, so they're kind of giving you a warning, probably marking their territory. Oh, Gilbert's having a Lagunitas IPA, so another Lagunitas
nice
house. And Vanessa's going to open up her Dragon's Milk. We know Vanessa loves the Dragon's Milk or the Foreign Extra Stout. I was going to do the other ones tonight, but I didn't do them. So I'm going to probably review at some point of the Guinness. I need to crack those open.
Have you had either one of those yet?
No, I got them both all down there still. So I got to.
So my brother and I had one. See, when was he over? I guess it was last weekend.
Yeah.
So he's liking. I've been getting him into craft beers over the years. Of course, he'd bring stuff, from Listerman and whatnot. But he likes the darker stout beers. But he'll drink some IPAs from time to time. But anyway, right. He came over and we cracked open. He brought over a 4-pack of the barrel aged Guinness.
Yeah.
So and I had 2. So I was like, all right. So we cracked one open. It's actually pretty good. It's a little thin for what you'd want it to be, probably for barrel aged, but it falls in line with what you would think for Guinness being barrel aged. I think it's a solid beer. I don't think it's anything where you're going to be like head over heels over anything, but it's a good barrel aged beer, I think.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a good one for kind of I know it sounds stupid, like a starter beer for craft beer drinkers, and you're talking barrel aged, but for somebody kind of getting into that type of thing where you're not going to spend a fortune on it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think it's pretty decent,
Showing up to 10% for someone just starting, like.
Right, yeah. But I mean, somebody maybe not just starting craft beers, but like in a barrel aged type, beer or something. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna, pretty drinkable. I mean, it did have a little. I set a couple of them aside. Actually, I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit because they did have a little heat to them.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit, not terrible, but I'm still which we might open Saturday for our Thanksgiving. I might open up one of those gingerbread ones.
Yeah, I got gingerbread. I got both of those. So yeah,
I'm curious to see what you think of the regular barrel aged one.
Yeah, when I got them, like the last 2, they had one of each. That were the last 2 there at the time, so I went in and got them. See that friend on the resupply convoy of Snowcats pulled 250,000 gallons of fuel and food. See 1,600 km. He'll make the 3-round trips. Done many times myself. Saw rather large wolves in Arctic. If they ever got close, we would be shredded. Yeah, they usually roam in packs, I think, so. Honey is good in drinks. Honey can be smooth. Name of that brown ale. I do like them. Well, the one that Todd has is from Jackie O's. And it's the Chamaluma.
There it is again, Ron, if you want to put it up there for.
They're actually out of Ohio, Vanessa. I'm not sure how far they actually go. But
all the way around. There's the old can art. It kind of does. He's got his backpack on, so I guess he's been camping. I'm not really sure what he's doing there.
It's like Chewbacca on an acid trip or something. Did you watch that video I posted on the Star Trek acid party? Did you see that at all?
I saw you post it, but I didn't watch it. No, I haven't watched it. I need to go back and watch it though.
Your ass off. I posted it at one point on a stream that Alan and them were doing with Blake, and Alan started like watching it while they were doing the stream. He was like just kept losing on the screen. It is so trippy. It's hilarious. It's well synchronized and everything. It's pretty fun.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, but that's that cool artwork. Dragon Milk Stout pairs well with turkey. Yeah, stout style can pair well with turkey as well. Do you agree? Still not found the Zero Gen. Yet hope it's good. Well, you know what? The Guinness for the Zero got recalled. They had to do a recall on all the 0% Guinness. So I don't know when that'll be back out, actually. They didn't say what was fully wrong with it, but they had to just call them all back in. If y'all ain't tripping, we ain't tripping. You feel me? It's all about tripping. Oh man, it's Finn sounding like Paul. Yeah. Good call, Gilbert.
That is a good call right there.
Very thin.
Only difference though, it wasn't 8,000 degrees, so
Yeah, it wasn't boiled. Bourbon said he reviewed the Hardywood Barrel Aged GBS video posted earlier today. It was really good. Oh, nice. Check that out as well. And if you guys haven't checked out Bourbon Bounty's channel, make sure you check him out. Man knows his bourbons for sure, and gets into all kinds of things there. When these restrictions, and I will plan on bringing a trail load of craft beers from here to you folks. Wow, that's always nice.
and Rod and I are close, so we could definitely make that happen.
Yeah, well, they never decide what they're going to do with all these restrictions for sure. I have not been on a road trip since 2010. Yeah, last one we went on was the one in Lake Cumberland last month, but I think that's the thing now. Going forward, I see more and more people like doing like the cabin types. I mean, you still have some people going to resorts, I guess, or staying in hotels, but for a lot of people, like the cabin business has been booming. If you were a cabin owner, I'm sure you're getting all kinds of business now. Paul said he had the bin. It ages faster near a furnace. Yeah. I had the BA GPS ages ago. Stay in Kent and come by the crib. Yeah, if I ever get back up that way, Carnal, for sure. I've been up to parts of northern Ohio. I'm trying to think if I've been. I don't think I've been near Canton as of yet, which I do want to go to Canton at some point. Obviously, you got the Hall of Fame there, which would be kind of cool to check out as well. But usually I've been up around Akron and Cleveland and some Toledo, some of the other areas up there. Paul, I go anywhere absolutely zero fucks. Yeah, Paul will jump in a car and just roll. Like they went to Frankfurt. I think it was me, Paul, when he came through a couple weeks ago with everything. We were, being safe with some different things happening, but Paul came down and they were just doing a road trip from PA to go to Frankfurt and do some whatever stuff, him and his buddy. So Paul will jump in the car and roll. Yeah,
how'd that trip go, Paul?
I live in that hood part of Canton. There's some good partying and stuff there too. It's funny because I'm in Cincinnati, and Todd knows we got an area here called OTR, which used to be kind of a rough area here in Cincinnati, and we used to go down there before they kind of did the gentrification stuff they did there. You would go down there and you find some little restaurants, hole in the wall place where people would do some stuff down there, but people are always nervous and stuff is seen. And I'd be like, well, let's just go down to Finley Market or whatever, walking from work, and people are like, you gonna walk through I'm like, there's nothing to be afraid. I don't know, maybe because I grew up outside New Jersey, and we had Camden, which was the roughest city in the country, and it was totally different. This is like a walk in the park for me to have to go through OTR. This is nothing.
Yeah, there's places like that in Louisville too, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of you just got to keep. We always say keep your head on a swivel, and nobody messes with you. But
in fact, I remember years ago. So the Louisville Bat Factory used to be in southern Indiana, which a lot of people didn't know that. But now they're actually in downtown Louisville.
Yeah.
So there's a restaurant not too far from there, and so it's kind of on the borderline of kind of getting into the rough part of downtown.
Right.
It's on the outskirts of downtown, but it's still kind of in the heart of, not in the heart, but kind of the heart of the city, I guess you could say. The main drag there. So years ago, company I used to work for, when they first took over, we had a big sales meeting at this restaurant. It was about a block or so from the Bat Factory. Nowhere to park. So I parked, not knowing. I didn't really know. I didn't think it was that bad part of town. And everybody's like, where'd you park? I was like, I parked there. They're like, did you walk by yourself? I was like, well, yeah. Who else was I going to walk with? I drove by myself. It was nighttime. They're like, yeah. Good God, what did you do that for? I'm like, where else was I going to park at? I didn't, it was fine. It was good.
Right.
Well, you go one street one way or the other. You better be packed. And I'm like, okay, well, lesson learned, I guess. I don't know. I don't go down that part of town that often, so I was like, I didn't have any idea. No big deal. I was fine. It worked out.
Yeah, I think most people create their own fears and stuff.
I think so. No, I mean there are definitely. I've been through some parts of towns where better not stop or whatever, kind of thing, or you might get carjacked or something, but it's few and far between. And it's like you said, I think it's self-fear.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've had some fun parties and been to places and areas that a lot of people wouldn't even go into. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's just, I think it comes from people not knowing people from the areas and stuff as well. That kind of they build up their own thing because they see stuff on TV or
Right.
all this kind of stuff. And a lot of the same people are the same thing there as they are in other spots. I mean, it's just funny. Like when I first started working in financial, when I was doing sales direct to people, I'm like, I'm going over to this town, I'm going over to that town. And people are like, why are you in that town? Did you know it's like that town's not this or that's like that's where the client lives. And I would go like all different places, and Kentucky is kind of like I would go to some places that were in the rural areas. They'd be like, are you going to be safe down there? I'm like, pretty sure I'll be okay. I'm not really worried about going down there. And I would go to inner city and places and different stuff and never ever had any issues. But people had in their mind predisposed on what they thought the areas were going to be.
Right.
So, I guess just because I've had friends from all different backgrounds, nothing ever freaks me out really. So, but if you don't have friends in certain groups, you may have more of a fear or concern, I think. So that's part of not getting to know other people.
And in today's ages, are you really safe anywhere? Doesn't matter where you're at anymore. It doesn't seem, you know what I mean? Like,
you can't go to a mall without possible shooting happening in places.
It's like, what difference does it make at this point?
Yeah. Apparently, you go to some of these churches, you get the COVID. So yeah.
I always kind of figured of some of the places that are like you were saying, like you shouldn't go there or be afraid to go there. I always kind of had in the back of my mind, like, they're not gonna mess with you if you're probably thinking, why is this person here? Do that or something's wrong with them? They're a little crazy. Maybe we should just leave them alone. We're not gonna fuck with this guy. We'll just leave him alone. Let him be. He's brave enough to come down here. He's all right with he's fine. Kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like kind of mentality. He's like, right. Whatever,
Oh man. Paul said after going through people are calm and relaxed is very cool. Absolutely fantastic trip. Kentucky is beautiful. There's some nice areas here in Kentucky for sure.
Nice. Good. Glad you had a good time.
Stevie said, now we come West Virginia, you're welcome off I-64, 2 minutes. So definitely. I-64 I'm pretty familiar with because my wife's her family, they're from Charleston. So that's what we usually take AA highway through Kentucky down to I-64 and shoot over. So, and West Virginia has some pretty areas and stuff too. So
I had an uncle who lived in West Virginia for a while. He worked for the railroad, and he moved around a lot. And he was in West Virginia. So what's the city? I feel like as soon as you come across the border into the state line, where the dog track is.
You're talking about.
I can't remember where he lived.
Across from Ashland into West Virginia, but it's before you get to Huntington.
Yeah, he wasn't in Huntington. Wow, was it? No. God, what the hell is the name of that place?
Right off I-64. But
I just remember. Yeah.
Between Charleston, where it's at.
I remember. This is when I was younger, and my dad was still alive, so we'd go kind of visiting wherever you would move to, just for a couple 4 or 5 days or something as a little trip. Other than when he finally moved to Jacksonville, Florida, that was when the trip started. And I'm like, that's the best place he ever lived, and we never went there. Like in Florida, lived in Chattanooga, lived in West Virginia, lived in Georgia. It was all over the place. God, what the hell was it?
Well, the place now is they got a tri-state racing gaming center. I'm trying to look on here. Cross Lanes, that's what it is.
Cross Lanes. I just remember going there and
it was a Greyhound.
Passed through. It was a Greyhound track on the right hand side of the highway.
Yeah, that's Cross.
But he wasn't too far from there. So I don't know what was in that area. I can't remember what exactly it was now, but my mom would probably know if she's watching. I'm not even sure if she's watching, but she probably would know. Remember for sure.
Well, a lot of people went down to Cross Lanes to do the dog track and stuff. So I've never been there though. I never went to the dog track. The wife, she's been there before, but I've never been there.
I've been a couple of times. Me and a couple of buddies years ago went to the like Tampa area, St. Pete area for like a weekend golf trip or whatever. And we went to dog tracks a few times back then.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. That was before. That was back when they were mistreating them all. Of course, now we have an adopted greyhound. Ex-racer.
Oh, good old QT.
I've seen QT.
But that's usually a road trip a lot. Toppling Goliath King Suit Double IP is fantastic. But yeah, so
yes, Paul, it is, Paul.
When he came in, he went to the Root Cellar, which is off of 71. That's another one of the beer places. That's one place I haven't been to. I knew about it, and Paul let me know that's where he was running to get beer up there. They're one of the newer ones that has a good amount of craft beer and stuff. So I'm gonna have to do a visit to them.
And the good thing with Toppling Goliath is when you get their stuff in the store, it's not much more than a week or week and a half old. It's not one of those breweries that'll send it out and it's already 2 months old. I mean, it's pretty fresh off the line.
Yeah, actually, last time I was at Jungle Gyms, I met one of the distributor people for them that handles Toppling Goliath. So we had conversational stuff. He gave me his card. I need to reach out to him and stay in touch when he brings other stuff in.
Which kind of makes you wonder if they're able to do that, why aren't more breweries able to get it to you quicker?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a distribution thing, but it's like they're in Iowa, so why are we getting it when it's only been on the, bottled on date would be like a week ago?
Yeah.
Or canned on date or whatever, it's like, how are we able to get it so fast?
Right.
You might get something else and you pick it up and it's like, oh, this is canned on a month ago, and you're happy because it's only been a month. You know what I mean? Like on some of that stuff.
Sometimes it may have gotten there to be sitting around too. So, but
yeah. Well, I guess that's true too. That's true.
Yeah. Also, that's a bad part of town. The media is there. Look out. But the media definitely plays a part in pointing out a lot of that stuff. Fort Worth, you take a road called Horn Street off I-30. At the end, it says Street Unit Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base, Fort Worth. Been in Camden, New Jersey at night. Don't fucking stop. The cop yelled at me.
For now.
Camden. It's been a while since I've been back to Camden, but it was definitely a rough area. But it's I don't know. I never had. I mean, there were definitely issues that you could run into stuff, but in high school we would go to Camden and not even think twice about it. But there were certain parts, you definitely didn't want to get caught.
Is that where Mike Tyson's from? Was he from Camden?
Oh no, he's from New York.
Oh, is he New York? Okay. Speaking of, he fights Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night's to fight there with him and Roy Jones. That should be interesting. See if I can try to find that somewhere, possibly. The exhibition only is like 8 rounds, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen those workout videos of Tyson. Would never get in the ring with him right now. I don't care if he's how old is he? 52 or 3 or something like that.
I wouldn't get in there with him. Yeah.
Of course, I don't know how old Roy Jones is, but the side by sides, Jones looks pretty old. And I know he's not that old, but
I think Jones like 46, 47 maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's maybe mid 40s, but the picture of him, he hasn't aged very well. It doesn't seem anyway.
Yeah. Vanessa, you really shouldn't encourage QT.
No encouragement needed there.
I've been everywhere and been pretty much cooey beings. Yes, again, a lot of it is prefabricated in people's heads, I think. When I lived in the Bronx, no Manhattan taxi would drive me home after 10 p.m. I got off work at 2 a.m. So, yeah, it's tough to get a taxi in New York to some spots. That's for sure. That's been documented out there.
Uh-huh.
But there are taxis that have been, people try to rob and stuff too, so I can understand that as well. When you're the shooter, do you still worry about a shooting? I walked from my apartment in the Bronx all the way down to Wall Street. That's a pretty good distance. Spent a good amount of time in the Bronx and Brooklyn. Probably had some good. Well, I know that was Paul. I thought it was Vanessa for a second. I know Vanessa had some good parties in New York, but Scott Depot before the bridge. Okay, that's one of the West Virginian towns there where CB is. Ship beer, big good metal, but good metal shows. Yeah. You weren't there for the beer, right? You were there for the show, and kind of the beer was back in the day. It was a lot of ship beer and a lot of bars. 161st and Walton Avenue, next to the Gehrig statue at Yankee Stadium. Live 12 minutes from there. So 12 minutes from Cross Lanes. You're not missing anything. We have some local game stores better. Yeah, it's a good thing going to the dog track. Yeah, West Virginia places all over now. The leather bottle holder on the Dragon's Milk is nice. Oh, excellent. So you got it completed then? That's worth the beer right there. Cool Paul. Anyone ever really get drunk and watch Pretty in Pink asking for a friend in my head? I don't know if anybody ever does that ever. I think it's been like years since I've seen Pretty in Pink there. So, yeah. It's, man, that's a long time ago. That's like one of those, the Brat Pack movies. Although I think Breakfast Club was the best of them from the ones that they did. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Catskill,
that's right. Yeah, Catskill.
Yep. Getting bottle shops in Ontario since the losing of post-prohibition laws. So they made some changes in Canada that hopefully now you get some good bottle shops. Places spend a lot of time in Eastern PA where he trained. Oh, nice. They also say like with the fight, there's no marijuana tested or something, which Tyson owns the dispensaries or whatever that he's into now. But I'm thinking like you got two old men in there fighting anyway. Why does it matter if one was doing marijuana?
Right.
Like marijuana's not going to make you fight faster; it'll probably make you fight slower. Roy Jones would probably hope that Mike Tyson does some weed before he gets in the ring, calm him down a little bit. I get in the ring with him if I got paid a lot to lose. So fuck it. Yeah, I mean, I remember being a kid and we watched Mike Tyson in his prime, and would you get in the ring with Mike Tyson and take a punch? How much would you have to get paid to do that? We would talk about. And, I get in there with like $1 million and take a punch from Tyson. It's like, yeah, you get $1 million, but like 500,000 going to your medical bills.
Yeah, exactly. And the person to count it for you when you're done.
Yeah.
So you still come away with nothing, and then you're disabled.
Tyson was ridiculous, and he was smoking weed all day 6 months ago. Yeah, his training was just crazy on how he was just destroying stuff there. 15 years ago, the beer was garbage. Yeah, but times are good, right? I made holders for the 12-ounce long neck bottles. Perfect fit.
Nice.
Well, knowing your math skills, Vanessa, I can definitely see where you mashed it up. Prefer Monster Squad. I may have the DL on the fight link. I'll holler on Facebook if I'm good. Yeah, definitely do. Let a brother know. So let's see. So that's the comments. Probably should get a little bit of the beer news in here, right? So, of course, we got Black Friday is tomorrow, which means Bourbon County brand stouts release. And are you planning on picking up some? Are you trying to pick up some tomorrow?
No, probably not, because this is the first Black Friday that I've had to work in like 20 years. So probably by the time I get off work, it'll all be sold out anyway. But I don't know. There was a shop local last year that I was still able to get just the regular version, months after. So maybe I'm sure they'll float around somewhere.
Yeah, they'll float around some. I know last year when Debs got them, they had them the regular version. They had on their shelves for like 2 months, I think, before they finally got rid of them. And
the funny thing about that was my mom called me today. She's like, "You're going to miss the Bourbon County stuff tomorrow, aren't you?" Because I have gone in the years past. I didn't go last year, and I was able to go to my local shop and get them because I saw him post on Facebook. So I live like 10 minutes away, so I just jumped in the car and was like the first one there and got all the variants or whatever that they had to offer. But this year, usually he always does. Usually throughout the year, he'll hold back like some of the like Firestone Walker parabolas and stuff like that and do like a raffle kind of drawing thing for him.
Yeah.
with with the COVID stuff going on, now it's just like open it up, first come, first serve on pretty much everything. So I told her, I was like, no, don't worry about it. I was like, if you gonna go, because the store won't open until 9:30, is like you'll be standing in line anyway. So what'll happen is everybody will go to Louisville, including all the Louisville people, to all their stores, because they'll open like at 7:00 in the morning probably.
Yeah.
So they'll stand in line over there for hours and get it, which I don't know about COVID. I'm not sure what the lines will be like this year or whatever. But people will go over there, and then we'll know that they're selling them over here like at 9:30, and they'll come and get those and wipe them out. He didn't get very much. He didn't give very much Bourbon County, which is weird. Yeah. Maybe a case of each, if maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, they limited. I don't know how much goose island you usually sell from that store. So
yeah.
The one place next to me, they're supposed to get them. I talked to them yesterday, and apparently they were supposed to get them in yesterday, although they couldn't sell them to Friday. But they had something they said that'll happen with the trucks, so they didn't know if they were going to get them yesterday or it might come in today or on Friday. So I might go in. They open right before I go to work and see if they have them there.
Yeah, I thought about that yesterday, or thought about that even this morning. Like, there's a place tomorrow that's local. Not really on the way to work, but I can go that way and cross the bridge and still go. It's a little out of the way, but they open at 7 a.m. Yeah. So I'm half tempted to get up and just cruise by to see if there's much of any line. If there's not, then maybe stop in, because I really won't have time to just stand in line, which I wouldn't plan on doing anyway. But honestly, to me, there's only just a couple of them that I've seen on the list that really even sound like I would want. The rest of them just seem kind of odd. I don't know, in my opinion. But I definitely would like the one that they're doing in the 12-year Weller barrels. I think that would be pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to do. I mean, if I go over there in the morning, I'm just going to see if they have them there. And if they actually, if there's no line, I might go in. If there's a line, I'm going to come back. I'm not going to worry about it.
So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what time I get up. And if I feel like going in the morning, I might just head over that way and see. Yeah. I don't know. If not, I'm not too worried about it. I'm sure I'll get it at some point. But the weird thing is, I always thought that too about being Black Friday. But there was a restaurant yesterday over in Louisville that was having them. Actually, they're doing it. They did it yesterday, and they're doing it tomorrow, where they have like some sort of a little tapping for Bourbon County, and they were having them last night. So I don't know if that's different because they're not actually selling the bottles.
On the keg, they might be able to do something like a special thing, like a tasting or whatever.
So they had like it's like a restaurant, bar and grill type place, but the guy that runs like the bar side apparently has a lot of connections or something. So they had like all the variants and stuff that you could try last night on tap. But they had it all set up outside in a big tent, so you could do like the social distancing thing, kind of keeping it within, somewhat regulations of today's world anyway.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
So the place, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's called Drake's.
Oh yeah,
we heard it. Do you have a Drake's there? Okay. Yeah. So there's 2 locations in Louisville. So the last night they were doing it at one location, and then I think tomorrow night's at the other location. Which you're within, I don't know, 10 miles of each other, maybe 15 miles. Probably not even that far, but so it's kind of cool. But I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, how are you doing on a Wednesday? Although I've been seeing pictures popping up all over the place, like Facebook of actual bottles of 2020 Bourbon County. So it's like, somebody's going to get in trouble selling it before time.
Some people got them earlier. Like, I know people that do reviews and stuff that got them earlier. Chicago, the media people, for instance, like Afro Beer Chick, who's been on here, like they got sent to them like 6 of each variant, like with the Goose Island glass in Chicago, so they can use it. I know other people have gotten them from other spots that they may have been connected around the country too. So, if that was the case, he may have seen somebody might review them. If they did, and I don't know. I don't know how they got them earlier. They may have, maybe they knew somebody or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's tomorrow, so that'll be interesting. Carnell was saying he may have to move from Canton. He lives in a rough neighborhood. Said he actually had gunshots the other day by him. Well, that might be a change. PA said he can give me the finger poke of death and I'll lay flat for him. Talking about Tyson. $20 a bottle, still too much for me. Better aged than fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing up to 13 by 6 by 6 letter design and Inkscape to have a laser cut in acrylic. Test and print entire print as staples to make the test bag. That's, I think, we're dealing with the cup holders, beer holders. World goes in lockdown. I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta work tomorrow. At least tomorrow for me is like a half day at the most. And depending on how busy it is, it might get out earlier than that. So
yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping too, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, it's supposed to work like 8 to 2, but in our thing, we do a lot of sales calls, and if the stuff is slow, we may get out early. They'll start sending people out earlier than that. So hopefully, if I get done around noon, that'd be a good thing.
So you actually have to go in tomorrow, or no?
Well, I mean, going in is just at home. It's just logging in. Yeah.
Well, I know that. I knew there for a while you'd go into the actual office like once a week or once a month or something.
They actually send surveys out now to see how people are doing and feelings about coming back to the office. And I'm always like one of the questions is like, you feel like you need to be in the office, like. And like, I guess the answer is, I can't remember. It was like, rarely, sometimes, blah, blah. And I'm like, and one of them was like, never. I'm like, never. Like, I don't need to come back in the office anymore. I'm done. Cut me loose. I'm out.
Yeah. I think that'll happen. I think that'll happen all over the country. I mean, I think that's going to be, I think a lot of businesses will realize that they don't need the space they have. You know what I mean? Like, people can work from home.
Some people want to be in the office, though. They, be around people and stuff. I'm fine for what I do.
I enjoyed my little bit. I got to work from home. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Super after 18 and 19 here in the mountains. Largest keg usually sold to consumers is a half keg. I found plans and very nice made the keg. I mean, I think you might be able to get a full keg, depending. Vanessa, I have found full kegs in restaurant supply stores. Sometimes they can order if none in stock. Yeah, so you can get full kegs too. Once drink a Jenny Cream Ale and farted so loud that it set off car alarms. Funny, Emerson, funny. Oh, retirement. I'm going gambling and coffee. I am no idea what afternoon is. Still got a ways to go before retirement for sure. Let's see here. What else do we got? So we had in Michigan, there was one of the breweries that used a likeness of Barry Sanders on their beer. And so Barry Sanders has now threatened legal action against the Detroit Brewing Company after they released it. And it was an old 8-bit of Barry Sanders, like kind of on a Tecmo football field from back in the Tecmo Bowl days. And they didn't get permission or whatever. They kind of put like the 20 there from the Lions. And it was kind of funny because some of the comments online were like, well, how do we know it's not Billy Sims? Because Billy Sims also wore 20s Detroit Lion, right? So some people were saying it was kind of, overconfident of Barry to think it could have been Billy Sims back in the 80s. True.
It also kind of screams out to me as Barry on tough times and he needs a check of some sort. He's done ran through all his money and now is his opportunity to get some.
But the one thing is with Barry wasn't one that, I don't even know if he drank at all. You never heard about him like drinking and doing stuff. So he may not want to be associated with alcohol as well.
That could be too.
I mean, I've never heard of Barry like partying or anything. I mean, he's always that kind of clean cut type guy or whatever. So maybe that's part of it as well. But it's kind of like, why would you not, permission to try to throw some stuff his way or whatever? If he said no, then hey, Billy Sims, we want to use you. And just
that's right. Yeah.
That's sign off on it.
Like that wasn't you, Barry. It was Billy. Yeah, what are you talking about?
I'm being so cocky.
Whoever's number 20, who is there a number 20? Did they retire the number? I would assume, or
I don't know if they did. They may have retired after Barry.
Maybe there's another number 20. They'd be like, no, this is John Smith. He likes our beer, so we made a beer after him. Whatever.
Well, let me see. Okay, I think I'll check the restaurant supply. I just found a Bridgeport. There you go. When are you going to come down? I can. I have no idea, just because right now the kind of the travel and stuff is on hold with all the stuff that's happening right now. So My wife usually has to go up to that part of the state at some point, but she hasn't had to do that because everything's virtual. But I like to get up there at some point. I'll definitely keep you in the fold. Semi-retired, I may not sign any more contracts. There's a couple that works in Toronto and they moved to Paris because neither go to their office anymore. LOL. But, we know, like, because people are doing remote. One of the things here in the state, I was actually brought this up in one of our sales calls with our people. If you actually go to Bermuda, Bermuda is actually giving deals for, like, at least for the Americans to come over there if they're remote workers because they need more money in their area. And if you're a remote worker, you're not coming in taking a job from them. They're actually giving you other stuff back, like on your housing and things like that, so that you can actually live in Bermuda. And so it was kind of funny. I brought it up there, and a couple of my salespeople were like, "Well, shoot, let's just go to Bermuda." Then our manager's like, "You can't just go to Bermuda." Like, they're like, "Why? We work from home. We don't need to go to the office so easily. We could do that." And we have people that work in some of the stuff we do around the country. So I'm like, go to another country.
What difference does it make?
Yeah. To be good to go. Oh, Kyle says he's a huge pale. I didn't know that. See, so Barry's a huge pale. You just never seen anything about him actually. I ever saw drinking or talking usually about beer or anything. And then Moose Gal says hello. She's back. What's going on, Moose Gal? Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see here. And then for you, for the hard rockers that are out there. See, it's like all these bands are getting into beer. So Dallas has teamed up with Pantera for a new beer set to be released in March. It's a golden ale, 5.4 ABV, brewed with Cascade and Citra hops. So for you Pantera fans, you have that beer coming out. And that seems to be a trend of these rock bands getting into beer. But again, I'll say the same thing with Pantera that I said with Metallica and Stone. Like, why are you guys giving these lighter type beers to these bands that are kind of like dark, hard? Why don't you put them on a stout or something like that? Because I mean, it was definitely the music they were doing was definitely more of that metal type feel, a little more darker. But you're going to put them on something like this. I just don't get it. I don't get the thinking with it.
That's what I was going to say. Like, why 5%? Why wouldn't it be a 10 or 12%? Something barrel aged, or not even barrel aged, but a 10 or 12% IPA or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Hard rock, you think, wow. Oh, we're drinking a little 5% beer. Okay. No, you're not.
That's like, why are you putting with something like that? It doesn't go against what they were. So,
yeah, you're totally right on that.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you? It just, when you think of that group or whatever, it's just like, yeah. Let me see. Berber says 5.4 ABV. That's probably about right for Pantera. So you think Pantera's a little light then. And Colonel said Metallica beer was decent, he heard. Yeah, actually, I've had the Metallica beer. I've done a review on the channel as well. It's not a bad beer. It's just when you think of Metallica, you don't think of them being kind of on a lager type beer. You expect them to be something of a darker type feel to the beer. So that's the only thing when I think of it. I just remember Barry getting stuffed by the Packers line. Of course you do, Gilbert. Of course you do. Everything's Packers in your world. All about the green and yellow. I'm trying to find by my career. Yeah. If you like a lager, I think you'll like the Metallica one. It's a decent beer that Stone put out. Four Hands Brewing. They are dropping a chocolate milk stout with Girl Scout cookie twist. So there's 3 different versions I think they're making, but they all have like feel of Girl Scout cookies in it. So again, it's getting to that sweet tooth of some of these beer drinkers where they're trying to make these pastry stouts. So those could be kind of interesting to check out. I don't get Four Hands here.
I don't either. I wish we could though.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good stuff about them. So people that get Four Hands Brewing, definitely want to keep an eye out for that.
St. Louis, I think, right? Four Hands.
Is that where they're out of?
I believe they're St. Louis.
We can find out Tom from Beer Whisperer, see if he gets them then. And then we have Sheets. So Sheets at one point did the hot dog beer. They are doing a limited edition craft beer with vanilla donut holes. Actually brewing with donut holes. Deep golden pale ale with notes of freshly baked donuts, vanilla frosting, graham crackers, honey, and malted barley. So this could be an interesting one that comes from Sheets. Sheets is like I think Sheets is kind of like a store, like we have. I'm trying to think. Like I was going to say up like in the Northeast, they have Wawa, but 7-Eleven or something like that type store. But they're teamed up with the brewery there, so you can provide it with this beer. But again, it's that sweet type pastry type feel that they're putting into this beer.
It's a pale ale.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then for the first time in history, Pliny the Younger will be available online, but there's a catch. You need a California address.
Oh, really? Come on.
So if
they probably can get it anyway. So
if you want to Pliny the Younger and you know someone in California that you can send it to that can get it to you, you can go online and now order it. So it's a step forward. Maybe it'll expand from there at some point, but I know a lot of people
probably could do that. I have an aunt that lives in California, so
yeah. So
I'll just message her and be like, "Hey, I got a package coming to you. Don't worry about what's in it. Just send it on to me."
Because that's never been sent to California before. FBI tapping my telephone.
Yeah. Like, you get a package, you don't know what it is, just go ahead and send it straight to me. That's fine.
We'll make it a mule. Oh, and then there was a creation where breweries can turn beer into adult ice cream cones with the help of a chef's machine. So there was a chef that created a machine. It's like $5,000 that breweries can get, and you put something into it that they provide, but it takes beer, or you can actually do it with some of the liquor and stuff too. It makes it into ice cream. And so it freezes it. You still get the alcoholic content, but you get it now in a dessert. That's got some promise. I mean, you could definitely. That
does.
Yeah.
First thing comes to mind is the Sagatuck Neapolitan Stout. Like, how good would that be in an ice cream form?
Serve it up.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that would be good. Or some of the Southern Tier dessert beers. They
yeah.
To put that into ice cream. Oh my God, yeah. You're making fat adults just happy with that one right there. Fat beer.
Even the stout I had last week, it was Angry Chair and what's the one that the contract brewers goes all over the place? Untitled Art.
Yeah.
Did one, the French toast pastry stout or whatever. That thing was so sweet, but that in ice cream form, forget about it. That thing would be dynamite.
Yeah. Let's see. Emerson says that Faith No More should be 151 with the Tools label. Whatever happened to Faith No More? I mean, they blew up on the one song, and that was back in the 90s too. Sheets all over the place around here. Never been inside. Yeah, I've seen Sheets before when I traveled. But I think they had it was a gas station or something with them too at some of their spots. So it's like a convenience store. I was trying to think of the convenience store here that would be like Thornton's. I think you got Thornton's where you're at.
Circle K or something like that.
Yeah,
we got Thornton's here. Yeah, actually, Thornton's I think started like in this area.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe. Actually, Fuzzy Zeller, the golfer.
Yeah.
His wife, I believe it's his wife, is a Thornton. One of the Thorntons.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. 99% sure that's the case.
Yeah. Let's say, how about a kegerator system for craft brews on my trailer and visit everyone? Wouldn't hate on that. I'll be all for that. If you can think it, Vanessa, you can do it. Beverly Hills Ave in Ohio, though. Nah, I'm on the deals app. I get all the deals on the stuff that I get. I saw the review for F That Machine, I think. The review for what machine? The Chef Machine? I didn't see a review or anything like it. We have an ice cream here called Proof. It's really, really good. Yeah, and I was going to say there's an ice cream place when I went to one of the places I stopped at. We went out to Lake Cumberland, Kentucky. They actually had ice cream that was alcohol as well. It was like a beer type ice cream, but it was already pre-made, so it was a pint or whatever. It's like a pint, and it was like whatever flavor, but it was like 5.4% ABV or whatever the ABV was on it. But that was like down towards bottom of Kentucky.
I'm surprised that whatchamacallit that makes the beer with Braxton, or the beer, the ice cream shop that makes the beer.
Grater, you can't forget Graters.
Graters. I'm surprised they haven't sold something like that, like a beer flavored ice cream.
Well, they probably
with alcohol in it. Well, I know you got to have I'm sure you got to have a license, but
they could sell it to Braxton.
Yeah, teaming up with Braxton, you would think they would have like maybe that flavor as an ice cream. You know what I mean? Like the key lime pie or whatever the ones they've had in the past.
Like a cookie dough stout. I would be all over that. We have a place here that makes fresh ice cream preserved with liquor nitrogen, very tasty stuff. But is there alcohol? Tried the bourbon salted caramel proof ice cream, delicious. Ooh, that does sound good though. It's like a truck stop, gas pump, charging, limited restaurant. Yeah, grab etc. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like when I think of like a Wawa or Thai, like Circle K or Thornton's, like you actually hear Thornton's commercials where people come to get their hot dogs and stuff. So, what else we got here? Well, I think I mentioned this before, but just in case, Bell's is now returning to Virginia after resolving their dispute they had with the distributor there.
Excuse me.
I know at one point I think Greg from Greg's BeerVentures was talking he couldn't get theirs because he's in Virginia because Bell's has cut off distribution. So now they can actually get that there. So if you're a Bell's fan in Virginia, you have that available. Home delivery of booze begins in Georgia, and it just goes to show how governments make no sense. So they can actually deliver booze in Georgia, but not breweries and distilleries. So only like restaurants can kind of do it because the way the law was fashioned, it didn't include the breweries and distilleries. So now they're in a fight to try to get that resolved. But it's kind of like, why would you say one can do it, not the other? So
it absolutely makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just the governments. And over in the UK, this is interesting. So Brewdog has hid 10 solid gold beer cans and random 12 packs in the UK. It's only in the UK. So like, where Craig and Harry and Peter, Rob, all those guys are over in the UK. If you find one of these random 12 packs you get a solid 12 ounce, whatever can of gold, basically, it'd be a nice little pickup to get a solid gold can.
That would be nice.
Take that to the gold exchange to cash it in. I mean, yeah, but
I wonder what the value of that would be.
I didn't look in the article to see what the value totally was, but it would be by the weight. I mean, the last time I looked at gold, though, it was like, let's say 1800 or something a pound or something, I think. I mean, a pound is what, 16 ounces? Would that be a pound still?
Yeah.
You got 12 ounces. You're getting 3/4 of $1,800. That wouldn't be bad. Be all right.
But would it actually be? Would it equivalent to 12 ounces? That's how much liquid would be in it. Well, would it matter? Is it kind of one of the pound of bricks or a pound of feathers? It's still a pound, right?
If it's the size of that gold, if it's heavier, it could be heavier. It could be more.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if it's poured like as a can shape, even though it still might be hollow inside, but how much would that weigh? I wonder.
I don't know, but either way, I think you'd be happy.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's a win-win. That would be a Rod J deal times a bazillion right there.
So if you're in the UK, you have a little bit of a treasure hunt. Obviously, it's only 10 out of however many 12 packs they put out there, but Brewdog's doing it as kind of a promo, I guess, over there.
Here's the other thing, though. Could it be heavier? Would it be heavier? Like if you were to take every 12 pack, like say this one feels okay, this one feels the same, then you get one that's like, oh, wait a minute, whoa, I'm gonna get this one. You know what I mean? Like
you pick it up and like, oh, wait a second, this feels a little different. Yeah, maybe.
Because like baseball cards is kind of so they have little things in them. Like some of them will be a little thicker or something, so you can tell like there's something special inside or something like that or whatever. Back in the day, So I was just wondering, like beer, if that would be the same thing, like. You see somebody in the aisle, they're just stacking them off into the aisle, just seeing if whichever one weighs a little bit more.
Well, if you're the guy that stacks them with a distributor, you stack them and you felt one was heavier, maybe you leave that.
Yeah, you can just set that aside yourself. So like I had this one behind the 15th pack of Bud Light, so you just call your buddy, be like, go get this beer.
I put a little black dot on it or something. Oh, and then this is going to be something that's going to be interesting because I'm waiting to see who's going to fill the void. But after 24 years, Shelton Brothers, which is basically the biggest importer that we have of the Belgian European beers, are stopping their operations. And part of it was what they fell behind because of COVID. There wasn't enough for them to really keep going the way they wanted to go, or things along those lines. And when you think of all the Belgian beers and the European beers we get, a lot of them, when you look on the bottle, is Shelton Brothers that's important in it. So it'll be interesting to see who fills that void. Again, with the way distribution is in their states versus out of how they're out of Europe, it's totally different. So I don't know how that has to get played into it. But, I'm drinking a Duvel tonight. A lot of stuff you're drinking out there. It'll be curious to see who takes that over and what they do to bring the beer and stuff in, and if that affects pricing and all that kind of stuff too. But Shelton Brothers for a long time was the one that handled all of that.
We had a big beer fest here 2 years ago, I think it was. It was Shelton Brothers was putting it on.
Yeah.
I think it came to Cincinnati too, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are
kind of random throughout the country, but it was one year in Louisville. I didn't actually get a chance to go to it, but it was like a 4-day event. I think it was 4 days.
Yeah. Well, they opened up the market for a lot of breweries over there because they were the ones that were bringing it in that didn't get the access to the U.S. market. So it's a huge hit to see what's going on there. And for Americans, a lot were exposed because they were able to try these different beers from other countries too, which is nice. And then the last thing I got here, this is actually Smalls is one of my breweries I really love. I haven't had anything from them in a while because I don't get them as much unless I kind of go over to Indiana. We have a place in Lawrenceburg where I can get Smalls brewing. Haven't seen them too much like in some of our other spots, but they released the RBG IPA, obviously salute to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and a Golden Jelly Donut Hanukkah beer. And Smalls Brewing always has some pretty decent beers. If you ever get a chance to check them out of New York, pretty impressed with a lot of stuff they do. So, let's see here. Vanessa said they just started allowing breweries to fill your growlers here back in 2017. Yeah, we actually have. The breweries were doing it, but we can get it at our stores too. Local stores do the growlers as well. Even some of the gas station places, we have growler refills.
That's another Indiana thing. We can't do that here.
Yeah, what did I say? A pound? I'm sorry, CB. 1,800 an ounce. Yeah, it's 1,800 an ounce. Which 1,800 an ounce. If you had a 12 ounce, so you take that 12 by 1,800. Yeah, you're doing all right.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be a nice little surprise for sure.
And website says each can is worth $20,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah, 20,000 American, which will be broken over whatever it is over there in UK. But you wouldn't be hating it. I know that. If you had a store, yeah. Yes, a beer can of gold will be much heavy, pick up lead versus say aluminum bar. Yeah, so I wonder, like you said, is when you see the picture, it looks like one of the cans, but it could be hollowed inside, like Tom mentioned, or however they did it. But it says solid gold, so I'm thinking it's the whole thing. They could just put less beer in a gold can to bring the weight down. I mean, would you complain if you got a can worth about 20,000 that was only half full? Well, it's actually, I wouldn't complain at all, but I don't think it is even a can. I just think it's kind of like stuck in there as a can. But I would not complain. Or they could hide a weight in all packs that didn't have a gold can.
True.
That's true. That's one way to kind of do it. Then you wouldn't be able to do that. About 15K euro. Still not bad for picking up a 12-pack. I'm doing a Dickens Cider by BBC Brewing Company. I didn't know you liked ciders as much, Carnal. I haven't had a cider in a bit. This is the season for ciders, though. If you were having a cider, kind of October, November type year, although now about December next week. Which December
Dickens
next
cider.
Yeah. None of you's got to say that there, yeah. By BBC Brewing, which actually we do have a BBC Brewing, so I kind of just saw that there and didn't think about that. So yeah. Say, well played, Carnal. Well played. What is that? It's a Bluegrass Beer Company. That's the BBC that we have.
Yeah, that's out of Louisville here.
Louisville. So yeah, so there is a BBC brewing. He says festive season. I drink ciders. Gilbert laughs there, of course, too. Yeah. Can somebody page? Yeah, now see. Yeah.
Oh, Porky's reference there.
But yeah. You know, the funny thing is, there's actually, that can't be a real thing, though. Apparently, it says it is independent brewing company. There should be somebody that made that brewing company out.
What's that?
Somebody made a hard Dickens cider.
Oh, that reminds me of an old Bob and Tom skit. Did y'all ever get Bob and Tom on the radio there?
Oh yeah, we get Bob and Tom. Yeah.
Okay, so I think they're based out of Indianapolis, but they used to have a skit. It was Dickens cider, and they had a whole thing like it's funny if you ever hear it. Yeah, I'm sure you could probably YouTube it or something, but it's pretty good. That's the only reason why it made me laugh thinking of that. I thought of that whole skit. It's like, oh, get a hot Dickens cider, or, whatever.
Well, they would have was it Donnie? What's the name of the guy?
Oh, I know you're talking about the comedian dude.
Donnie something I swear.
He's always saying, I swear to God. Yeah. What the hell's his name? Donnie, I know you're talking about. Dang.
I can't think of the skit there with him on Bob and Tom. Get up here.
Oh my gosh.
Donnie Baker.
Yeah, there you go. I follow him on YouTube, but I couldn't think of what the hell his name was. Yeah, Donnie Baker. That dude's a nut.
Yeah. I swear I will. Let me see here. What is going on, Beer Hound? Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend out there in the OC. Cheers, brother.
What's up, Beer Hound?
Hopefully you had a great Thursday and holiday here. Bourbon says happy Thanksgiving as well. Dare me to drink another 12-pack of Busch lattes. Meh. Going to anyways.
Double dog, dare you.
Busch. I never did get their apple. I know some people had their apple, but I never picked it up.
It's actually pretty decent.
That's what people keep saying. Like, I don't think, like, you and they say it like you said it there. Like, people don't want to believe it. Like
I mean,
I can't believe the words coming out of my mouth right now, but it's pretty decent.
That would be one I would like to see somebody do like a blind review on. Thinking, okay, because I don't think anybody would ever know that it was like a Busch beer or whatever.
It's kind of like snuck up on people the same way that you did with the Natter Days with the Natty Lemonade beer. Like, people didn't realize it was Natter Days when they were like voting on it and liking it. That one.
I don't think it's as sweet as the Natter Day one, though.
Not as sweet, but people didn't know it was Natter Day product.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You couldn't believe Natty kind of put this thing together. People really enjoying it. I feel like people feel that same way about Busch and their apple. Like, can't believe like they actually made something that people are actually enjoying. We had a radio show going off there in Kansas City. Their final broadcast was a 30 fake commercial for Sofa King Furniture Store. Like new seltzer beers, but I rarely ever do a seltzer. The last time I had something that was a seltzer, I actually used it as something to go with the gin I was drinking. The only time I drank straight seltzer the last time was Tom Todd and over here when we did the stuff from Braxton, and we were kind of in a store at Party Source. But I don't know. I'm just not a huge seltzer person. It's just not one of the things I like to kick back and drink. And some of the ones have seen or tasted haven't been as great to me.
Yeah, same here.
Night Vanessa, great to have you here. Definitely get some work done. Always good to see you. The bourbon also say good night to Vanessa as well.
Yeah, good night.
But, I don't know. Somebody somebody asked, I think it was last night, they asked if I'd ever think about doing seltzer on the channel. I was like, probably not, but you hate to never say never. I mean, but it's kind of like, I'm just not, it's just not my thing. I really want to get into doing seltzers. Although, I don't even look at seltzer being beer. It's just not. It's not beer. It's just another malt like type drink, but it's not beer.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah.
You should do a seltzer series with the Bud Light seltzer series because there's so many different flavors of those. Do it, Rod. Do it. Peer pressure.
I can't they put Bud on it. Yeah, malt beverage. You're right, Mervin. It is a malt beverage, but I mean, more and more breweries are coming out with seltzers because that's what they're coming out for the line. And I agree, Cardinal. They definitely seem gimmicky. I thought we might have jumped the shark on those like after 3 years, but people are still drinking them. And, the younger generation is what's driving it. And I think they really like those and they're low calorie, I believe, or something. So that's why we're kind of seeing them still get made.
There's definitely a market for them, for sure.
I've never done Hornsby cider. I would do a cider. I have done ciders here. In fact, the ciders I like the most have been the ones from Blake's Hard Cider. I've done a few reviews on those on the channel. So, yeah, I would take a look at another cider. I have more of a feeling for doing a cider than I do for doing a seltzer. So, I would definitely do that. And there are some good ciders out there. Some good flavors they're doing with stuff. I'd like to do some more tea beers, but I haven't got a chance to get any more. We have one spot, Wild Ohio, that does tea beers that are pretty decent. I just haven't picked up any more of the stuff they're doing.
I don't know that I've had any outside of that Twisted Tea.
Yeah. Well, is that like a tea beer, though, or is that just a hard, like another malt beverage?
Oh, you know what? It probably was a malt beverage. Who was it that was doing those?
Wild Ohio Brewing. They were at the beer fest that we were at.
Well, no, these like Twisted Teas you can actually buy like at the the grocery stores and shit.
That's Sam Adams that does the Twisted Tea.
Is it Sam Adams?
I believe it's Sam Adams does Twisted. That's one of their series there. Get twisted. You should do a thing like Andy and Todd where you have to make something bad if you lose. They take a shot of McCormick's whiskey flavored. You could just down a seltzer. But see, I don't lose, Bourbon. I'm just hoping they don't bring back Zima again, because if they bring back Zima, I have to do a video with Erie drinking Zima, which is like doing a seltzer. So I'm trying to hope they don't ever bring that back.
No, I'm sure they will at some point.
Cider will smack your face loose. A seltzer will not. Yeah. They came back when they came back last time. They didn't do as well as I think they thought they were going to do. They lasted around for a bit, or they just finally took them out of the stores. But yeah, pretty sure seltzers recycle Zima. Guess what to do it? LOL. Rajay is too cool to lose. Do something like that. The channel, the hot ones, and people have to go through a series of seltzers. Each one being a little bit worse. This next one is black licorice. Oh,
wait, what? You made it this far, you got to go all the way through it now.
Oh, man.
That would be terrible. Black licorice seltzer.
Black licorice seltzer? Nah.
No thanks.
Hard pass.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Just have a glass of water instead.
Yeah. Yeah, but next week will be December. It'll be Christmas month. And people are still going crazy trying to get the PS5s and the Xboxes. And I saw like eBay or something, like people were putting like over $1,000 trying to sell them. It's like, why don't you just wait? Like, you don't have to have it right now, you know?
Somebody will buy them, though. That's the stupid thing about it.
Somebody will. I mean, people got money to play with. Speaking of money to play with, so last night we were doing a stream, but out in the background I had a TV going, and one of the shows that came up during the stream was Jay Leno's Garage. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Like,
oh yeah, mm-hmm.
And he's out there on the bay or whatever in like this little speed boat, like submarine type, whatever it was, and it was just like, you got way too much money. They were showing his garage on the cars. Like, I mean, I'm not upset because he has money. I think everybody, if you can make the money, make the money. But it's just like when you watch him on TV, it's just like, you just piss some money away just to piss. It was great that you could do it, but it's just like you're just throwing it out there right now. Like why are you doing this like rocket jet boat thing when you always done it? It's like,
because I can. That's what his answer would be. Because I can.
What I'm saying is, I'm jealous because if I got it, I'd do it too.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I ain't mad at you. I mean, I kind of am, but I ain't really.
Let me see. Carnal says Zima is something different, right? Is it, Carnal? Is it? No, I was there when the Zima first came out, and I didn't like it. So yeah, I've had the Zima in its original state, and I've had Seltzer, and I joke about the Zima being recycled into it, but yeah, it's neither one of them are preferential for me.
Oh, Jolly Rancher took a big climb when Zima came out. I know that.
See, if you got to put Jolly Ranchers in your pocket, that's an issue in itself, right? Like,
exactly.
You want a Zima? No, man, I'm out of Jolly Ranchers. I can't have a Zima. No, I'm all out. I'm tapped. Is the PS5 worth it? I don't think it is for the amount that they're trying to do. I mean, I'm going to get the PS5 when it does, when I finally find it, but I'm not going to go crazy like some of these people are. Like some people are just hour by hour, like around their computer, it seems like checking it to try to get it. I'm like, if I get it 6 months from now, I'm not worried about it.
And you'd be better off because you're given a chance to work out your bugs and stuff too on them.
Yeah, exactly, because they are finding issues. Yeah, I got the PS4, I chill and I play stuff on there. Todd's got the PS4, he plays on there, so just kick back and relax. Let me see. I was trying to play Ark on PS4 with my son. No depth of field. Dinos wouldn't render until you're on top of them. You play with Alienware computers now. Actually, I play Ark on PS4. I haven't had issues on mine. I mean, I don't know what the difference would be on the computer to see, but Alienware is pretty good computer for gaming. I saw them before they usually got up on top of me on the dinosaur, but yeah. I skipped the PS5 and went to dollar bills. So you went to the computer. But yeah, people are getting that. I mean, some people are getting back into computer gaming as well, too, with some of the systems that are out there. I don't know. I like to have the console myself, so
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Again, if I get it, I get it. Mostly with flying, not so bad on the ground. But the Alienwares are like real life. Oh, okay. So yeah, I hadn't flown on that game, but on the ground, it wasn't too bad. But usually I'm playing like Call of Duty and stuff, or sometimes sports like with Todd or somebody. But yeah, which I've been playing the new Call of Duty mostly now and kind of get hooked into that. So
how you liking that one?
I like it now that I've played the updated version. I played it when it had the alpha and the beta, and the final product is pretty solid. So, yeah, I enjoy it now. I'm kind of playing out more than Modern Warfare still has some issues, I think, connecting. I haven't had any issues on the other one, but I like it, But I play
they'll focus on the new one now, though, so Modern Warfare kind of start falling off, I would think.
Well, yeah. But you still have people that go online and play like Black Ops 3 and some of the other Modern Warfare games. So the servers are still there. But yeah, I think the main key focus is now on this one. And, well, with Modern Warfare, they're still updating stuff. They're still doing map updates. You can still get that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. But let's see, it's about 11 o'clock here. So I guess we'll go ahead and get this baby wound down and get some rest. I know I go to work in the morning. Todd goes to work in the morning, and some of you guys. But if you have the day off, that's excellent. Hopefully you have a great Friday there for your day off. And again, hopefully you had a great meal tonight if you did celebrate Thanksgiving. Like I said, Todd, I know him and his family doing it this weekend. And the kickback, we got more college basketball tomorrow as well, which is great. I'm loving the college basketball being back and being able to catch that during the day with all the different tournaments. So I'll be watching West Virginia tomorrow afternoon, which I think is at 2 o'clock tip-off or so. It'll be right after I get off work and watch them in the championship game for their tournament they're in. They're going against Western Kentucky, who surprisingly ended up making it on the other bracket. So
I was going to say, don't sleep on them because I think they've got some pretty good players there. I know a couple of was it last year maybe? They got like 3 or 4 top 100 players or something to go there.
Yeah, it looked like they had some good players in the game they just won. And then we already had big games. I mean, every week now, the cool, I'm not going to say the cool thing about the COVID thing because that's nothing cool about the COVID thing. But in basketball, the way things are changing, you're getting key matchups right off the bat. So we've already had play Kansas, which is like a tournament game right off the bat. So any of these weeks, you're getting good basketball, most likely, depending on what's going to take place here. So in that regard, it's going to be kind of interesting and fun to watch some of the basketball season to see what happens. I feel like last year we had a good team in West Virginia, so it sucked that we had the COVID thing and they called off the tournament. I felt like we had a Sweet 16 last year. I think this year, if our guards are hitting their shots, we're probably more of an Elite 8 Final Four team. So it'll be interesting to see how we play out there. Huggins has to get a title at some point. I mean, he's Hall of Fame everywhere except getting that championship.
Right, yeah.
If he didn't lose Kenyon Martin that year at the Bearcats, he probably would have got a title that year. And then when he had Butler go down with us at West Virginia, that killed us in the Final Four. He's got to be due at some point here, I think. So you never know when.
Definitely on the cutting edge.
Yeah. I mean, he's like the 6th most winningest coach. So it's like 4th still going. So we'll see what happens. But I'm just happy college basketball is back. We'll just watch some of that, crack some beers open, do some more reviews I can share with everybody watching the channel. And then the next few reviews, I've already done a couple. I've got a few more to do from Hot Butcher that I'm going to upload. I'm going to try to do that Anchor Christmas sale they sent me this week as well to try to get that uploaded. I'm trying to think what else. I got the ones from Aaron from Lord Hobo. I got to do the Godmother beer he sent to me, another one. So pretty good beers to be coming your guys' way. And hopefully the beers give me the hiccups. Hopefully you guys enjoy the upcoming reviews and stuff. But thanks for Todd hanging out here on Thanksgiving night and kicking it again. And thanks for all you guys that were checking out the show tonight. And I look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Again, if there's beers you want me to try to take a look at, just let me know. I always say in the videos, feel free to leave in a comment, anything along those lines. And go from there. Emerson, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Appreciate that. Much love. And hopefully everybody has a great weekend. And if you're like me and Todd and CB, we may see our first snow in the next few days. So we'll see what happens there. And that's about it. Anything you want to say, Todd?
Nope. Everybody have a good weekend. Thanks for checking us out. Hanging tight tonight. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family while you can.
Yeah, exactly.
And drink the good craft beers.
And give thanks for all you guys actually being here, making it a fun experience here on YouTube as well. And I look forward to talking to all you guys soon. Cheers, everyone, and have a great night.